Behold, a power reserved for the divine, gifted to a child scorned by his own village. What if the outcast, Naruto, was born with the silent, flawless movements of mastered ultra instinct? A destiny rewritten, a legend forged in isolation. Prepare to witness a shinobi world completely unprepared for his existence.
The masked man's fingers were inches from the newborn when reality itself seemed to reject him. A soundless explosion of silver light erupted from the baby, and suddenly Obito was flying backward, his body crashing through the cave wall with enough force to shatter stone. Dust and debris filled the air. When he staggered to his feet, blood trickling from behind his orange spiral mask, the infant in Kushina's trembling arms was no longer golden-haired. Silver-white hair flowed from the baby's head like moonlight given form, ethereal and impossible. Ancient silver eyes stared at him with an awareness that should not exist in a newborn. The baby didn't cry, didn't scream, just watched with a consciousness that made Obito's blood run cold. "What? What is that?" he whispered. The infant's tiny hand moved and Obito felt it, a pressure in the air, a warning that transcended instinct. For the first time since Rin's death, Obito Uchiha felt genuine fear. "My son," Kushina breathed, staring at the child in her arms with wonder and confusion. "Minato, what's happening to him?" The fourth Hokage stood between his family and the masked intruder, kunai ready, but his eyes were fixed on Naruto. The baby's silver hair seemed to glow with its own light, and a faint aura surrounded the small body, protective, divine, utterly alien to the chakra system Minato had spent his life mastering. "I don't know," Minato admitted, "but he's safe. That's what matters." Obito's Sharingan spun behind his mask. This wasn't part of the plan. This child wasn't supposed to be able to defend himself. The Nine Tails extraction was supposed to be simple. Kill the parents, take the beast, reshape the world. But now, this changes nothing, Obito growled, chains materializing from the shadows. The Nine Tails will be free, and your precious village will burn. What followed was chaos. Minato fought with the speed that had earned him his legend, teleporting across the battlefield, but Obito's Kamui kept him intangible. The battle raged through the forest outside Konoha, and eventually, inevitably, the Nine Tails was torn from Kushina's body. The massive fox roared its freedom, tails lashing, preparing to obliterate everything in sight. Minato made his choice. The Reaper Death Seal. The ultimate sacrifice. He would seal half the Nine Tails in himself and half in his newborn son. It was the only way to save the village. Kushina, weakened and dying, held Naruto close. "I'm sorry, my baby. I'm so sorry you'll have to carry this burden." The silver-eyed infant reached up, tiny fingers touching her face. For a moment, Kushina felt warmth, pure, comforting warmth that eased the pain tearing through her body. The baby's expression was serene, accepting, as if he understood everything. "He'll be okay," she whispered to Minato as her husband prepared the sealing jutsu. "I don't know how, but he'll be okay." The Nine Tails' massive form loomed over them, chakra dark and furious. Minato's hands flew through seals, the Shinigami appearing behind him, its ghostly hands reaching through his body. The seal activated with a flash of light, and the fox's violent energy was pulled toward the infant. But something impossible happened. As the Nine Tails chakra entered Naruto's body, the violent red energy began to calm. The rage that had defined the beast for centuries simply stopped. The chaotic chakra touched the silver aura surrounding the baby and became tranquil, subdued, peaceful. Inside the seal, the Nine Tails opened its eyes in confusion. The crushing pressure of divine energy surrounded it, gentle but absolute. The fox, for the first time in its existence, felt Smaryu. Kurama whispered in the mindscape. The infant consciousness didn't answer in words. It simply existed, calm, aware, and infinitely more powerful than the Biju could comprehend. Minato and Kushina died with smiles on their faces, their final words of love spoken to their son. The third Hokage arrived moments too late, finding only a silver-haired baby sitting peacefully amid the destruction. Surrounded by a faint glow that made the old man's breath catch, Hiruzen Sarutobi lifted the child carefully, almost afraid to touch him. The baby looked at him with those ancient silver eyes, and the Hokage felt centuries of experience become meaningless under that gaze. "You're something special, aren't you, Naruto?" Hiruzen whispered. "The world has never seen anything like you." The baby didn't cry, didn't fuss, just watched with infinite patience as the professor carried him toward the village, where a destiny unlike any other awaited. The village feared him. They called him the demon child, the monster, the silver-haired freak. But their hatred was different from what it might have been, because when they looked at young Naruto Uzumaki, they saw something that made their instincts scream warnings. At age 3, Naruto walked through the village with perfect posture, silver hair catching the light, moving with a grace no toddler should possess. When angry villagers threw stones, his small body would shift just enough for every projectile to miss. Not a conscious dodge. His body simply moved on its own, untouchable. A drunk man once tried to attack him with a knife. The blade came down toward the child's head, and Naruto's hand moved, catching the man's wrist with gentle precision. The drunk found himself on the ground, unharmed but thoroughly immobilized, while the 3-year-old looked at him with sad silver eyes. "Hurting others won't heal your pain," Naruto said quietly, his voice soft but carrying a weight that made grown men flinch. "Please go home." The man ran, story spread. The demon child who couldn't be touched. The silver-haired boy who spoke like an old sage. The monster who looked at you with eyes that seemed to see your very soul. Hiruzen watched from his office, smoking his pipe, wondering what he'd been entrusted to protect. He's 4 years old, and he's already surpassed most academy students in taijutsu, an Anbu reported, kneeling before the Hokage's desk. Not through training, his body just knows. It's like he's always been a master. Has anyone managed to land a hit during the observation tests? No, Lord Hokage. Jonin, Chunin, even some Anbu volunteers, no one can touch him. His body moves before the attack arrives. It's not prediction. It's something else entirely. Hiruzen nodded slowly. And his personality? Gentle, kind. He helps elderly civilians with their groceries. He feeds stray cats. He apologizes when he accidentally startles people. But he's also... The Anbu paused, isolated. No children will play with him. Their parents forbid it. Keep monitoring him, but do not restrict him. Naruto is not a threat to this village. I'm certain of that. What Hiruzen didn't say was that he suspected Naruto might be the village's greatest protector, if given the chance. At age 6, Naruto enrolled in the academy. The instructor, Iruka Umino, stared at the enrollment form with confusion. Uzumaki Naruto was written in perfect handwriting, and the photograph showed a child with striking silver hair and calm eyes. Iruka had heard the rumors, but seeing the boy in person was different. Naruto sat in the back row, hands folded on his desk, posture perfect. While other 6-year-olds squirmed and whispered and threw paper airplanes, Naruto simply listened with complete attention. His silver eyes tracked Iruka's movements with an awareness that made the young teacher nervous. "All right, class," Iruka began, trying to ignore the uncomfortable feeling. "Today we'll start with basic chakra theory. Can anyone tell me what chakra is?" Several hands shot up. Iruka called on a girl in the front row who gave a textbook answer about physical and spiritual energy. "Good. Now, chakra control is the foundation of all jutsu. Even the strongest ninja is limited without proper control. It takes years of practice to..." "Excuse me, Iruka-sensei," Naruto said quietly, his voice calm and respectful. The class went silent. This was the first time the demon child had spoken. "Yes, Naruto? Would you like me to demonstrate chakra control for the class? It might help them visualize the concepts." Iruka blinked. "You're 6 years old. You haven't had any formal training yet." "I understand, but I believe I can help." Something in those silver eyes made Iruka nod. "All right, come to the front." Naruto stood with fluid grace and walked to the front of the classroom. Every eye was on him. Some curious, many hostile, all wary. He turned to face the class, and a faint silver aura began to glow around his small body. "Chakra control," Naruto said softly, "is about balance and flow, like this." He raised one hand, and chakra condensed in his palm, visible, silver white, perfectly controlled. The sphere of energy rotated slowly, stable and beautiful. Then Naruto walked up the wall, chakra adhering his feet to the vertical surface as easily as breathing. He walked across the ceiling, the energy sphere still spinning in his palm before dropping lightly back to the floor. The demonstration had taken maybe 30 seconds. The entire class sat frozen in shock. That's Jonin level control, Iruka stammered. How did you? I just listened to what you taught, Naruto said simply. Thank you for the lesson, sensei. He returned to his seat, and Iruka spent the rest of the class in a daze, barely able to continue teaching. After class, Iruka reported to the Hokage. He shouldn't be in the academy, Iruka said bluntly. Lord Hokage, that child is already more skilled than me, and I'm a chunin. He doesn't need to learn. He already knows. Then he'll learn other things, Hiruzen replied, looking out his window toward the academy. Social skills, teamwork, how to interact with peers. Naruto's power is undeniable, but he needs more than strength. He needs connection. The other students are terrified of him. Then help them see past their fear. That boy is gentle and kind. They'll realize it eventually. Iruka wasn't convinced, but he nodded and left. The years at the academy were strange for Naruto. He completed every assignment perfectly. Physical tests, written exams, jutsu demonstrations. He excelled at everything without visible effort. When they practiced shuriken throwing, every projectile hit the bullseye. When they sparred, no one could touch him. His body flowed around attacks like water, and his counters were always precise and controlled, never injuring his opponents beyond minor bruises. But he remained alone. Most students avoided him. Parents had poisoned their children with fear and hatred, and even those who weren't actively hostile kept their distance. The silver-haired boy who spoke like an adult and fought like a legend was too strange, too other, to befriend. Except for two. Shikamaru Nara, the lazy genius, found Naruto interesting precisely because he was strange. During lunch periods, Shikamaru would sometimes sit near him, watching clouds and occasionally asking questions. Why don't you show off more? Shikamaru asked one day, lying on the grass while Naruto sat with perfect posture. You could make everyone respect you. Respect earned through fear isn't real respect, Naruto replied quietly. I'd rather they see me for who I am, not what I can do. Troublesome, Shikamaru muttered, but there was a hint of approval in his voice. The other was Hinata Hyuga, who watched Naruto from afar with wide eyes. She saw his kindness when he helped younger students who fell. She noticed how he always held doors open for others, how he picked up trash in the training yard, how he never spoke badly about anyone despite how he was treated. One day, she found the courage to speak to him. Uzumaki-san, she stammered, approaching him after class. I think you're very kind. Naruto looked at her with those ancient silver eyes, and Hinata almost fainted from the intensity. But then he smiled, gentle, warm, genuine. Thank you, Hinata. That means more than you know. She ran away, face burning red, but from that day forward, she tried to be braver. If someone like Naruto could face the village's hatred with such grace, surely she could face her own challenges. At age 8, Naruto was called to the Hokage's office. Hiruzen sat behind his desk, looking older than usual. Naruto, I need to discuss something with you. You're aware that you're different from other children. Yes, Lord Hokage. What I haven't told you is why. You carry within you the nine-tailed fox, the Biju that attacked the village the night you were born. Your father, the fourth Hokage, sealed it inside you to save the village. Naruto absorbed this information without visible reaction. I see. You don't seem surprised. I felt it since I was old enough to understand my own mind, the presence inside me, the fox's chakra. I've been communicating with it. Hiruzen's pipe nearly fell from his mouth. Communicating? Naruto, the Nine Tails is a being of pure hatred and rage. It's dangerous to... It was, Naruto interrupted gently. It's different now. Would you like to meet it? Before Hiruzen could respond, Naruto's eyes flickered, and suddenly the Hokage felt an overwhelming presence. Not hostile, curious, almost amused, a voice echoed in the office, deep and ancient. The old monkey finally told the kid the truth. About time. Kurama? Hiruzen gasped. The brat calmed me the moment we were sealed together. The Nine-Tails voice continued, emanating from Naruto. Whatever power he possesses, it's beyond me. Beyond you. Beyond anything this world has seen. I've been watching, learning, and I've decided to cooperate. Naruto's eyes returned to normal. Kurama and I have an understanding. His power is mine to use, and in return, I treat him with respect. We're partners. Hiruzen sat back in his chair, mind-reeling, a Jinchuriki in perfect harmony with their Biju at age 8. Impossible. And yet with Naruto, everything was impossible. Your father would be proud, Hiruzen finally said. So would your mother. Tell me about them. The old Hokage smiled and began to speak, sharing stories of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto listened with quiet attention, silver eyes gentle as he learned about the parents who had sacrificed everything for him. At age 9, Naruto's true capabilities were put to the test. A rogue jonin from another village, wanted for assassination and espionage, was spotted near Konoha's borders. Ambu teams were dispatched, but the man was a wind-style master, using mobility and long-range attacks to evade capture. He made the mistake of entering the village during academy hours, trying to blend with civilians. But his chakra signature was noticed, and Ambu began closing in. In his panic, he grabbed a hostage, a young academy student walking home. That student was Naruto Uzumaki. "Don't move or the kid dies," the rogue ninja shouted, kunai pressed to Naruto's throat. Ambu surrounded them, but no one could get a clear shot. Naruto stood perfectly still, silver eyes calm. "You should let me go." "Shut up, brat. You're my ticket out of." The rogue ninja's words died as his body suddenly flew backward, crashing into a wall 20 feet away. Naruto hadn't moved visibly, but somehow the man had been thrown. The kunai clattered to the ground, and Naruto brushed off his shoulder where it had touched him. "I warned you," Naruto said quietly. The rogue ninja staggered to his feet, blood streaming from his nose, and made hand signs. Wind style, blade of wind. Invisible cutting wind rushed toward Naruto. The Ambu tensed, ready to intervene, but what they saw made them freeze. Naruto's body moved. Not fast, efficient. He stepped one pace left, tilted his head 3 inches right, raised his hand and deflected a blade of wind with his palm as if swatting a fly. The air itself seemed to bend around him, protecting him without effort. "Impossible," the rogue ninja breathed. "You're injured and afraid," Naruto observed, walking forward slowly. "You don't want to die here. Surrender, and you'll be treated fairly." "Stay back." The ninja formed more seals. Wind style, great breakthrough. A massive gale erupted, tearing up the street, strong enough to uproot trees. Naruto raised one hand, and the wind split around him, his silver aura blazing to life. He took another step forward, completely unaffected. The rogue ninja's hands trembled as he formed his most powerful technique. Wind style, wind cutter technique. Dozens of invisible wind blades filled the air, crisscrossing in a pattern meant to cut the target from every angle simultaneously. A jonin-level technique capable of shredding armor, Naruto's body became a blur of movement. Not super speed, but perfect efficiency. Every shift of his weight, every tiny adjustment of his position, placed him exactly where the blades weren't. To the watching Ambu, it looked like he was dancing through the attacks, untouchable and serene. He appeared in front of the rogue ninja, silver eyes meeting terrified brown ones. "Sleep," Naruto said, placing 2 fingers on the man's forehead. The rogue ninja collapsed, unconscious before he hit the ground. Naruto looked up at the Ambu watching from the rooftops. "He's ready for questioning," Naruto said calmly. "I didn't hurt him badly. He'll wake up in a few hours." The Ambu captain appeared beside him, mask hiding his expression, but his voice carried shock. "You're 9 years old." "Yes." "You just defeated a wanted jonin-level criminal without a scratch." He was afraid and desperate. That made him sloppy. The captain stared at him for a long moment. "Come with us. The Hokage wants to speak with you." Hiruzen watched the Ambu report with growing certainty. Naruto sat calmly in the office chair, looking small but somehow larger than life. The silver-haired boy radiated a presence that made even the battle-hardened Ambu shift uncomfortably. "Naruto," Hiruzen began carefully, "what you did today was incredible, but it also revealed capabilities that are concerning." "Concerning how, Lord Hokage? You're stronger than most of my jonin, and you're 9 years old. If this becomes widely known, other villages will see you as a threat, or worse, an opportunity." Naruto nodded slowly. "You want me to hide my abilities. I want you to be careful. In the academy, among peers, let them see you as skilled but not impossible. While save your true strength for when lives are at stake." "I understand." Hiruzen studied the boy. "Do you know the source of your power? The silver energy, the automatic movements, the awareness you possess?" "No," Naruto admitted. "I've always had it. Since my first memory, I've been like this. It feels natural, like breathing. The fourth Hokage was a genius, and your mother had incredible chakra reserves, but this is beyond bloodline limits. This is something else entirely. Naruto's expression grew thoughtful. Does it matter where it came from? I have it. I can use it to protect people. Isn't that enough? The wisdom in those words, spoken by a 9-year-old, made Hiruzen smile despite his concerns. You're right, the source doesn't matter, only what you choose to do with it. Then I choose to protect Konoha. This village gave me a home when I had nothing. Whatever power I possess, I'll use it to keep people safe. Hiruzen felt warmth in his chest. Your parents would be very proud, Naruto. So am I. The academy years continued, and Naruto followed the Hokage's advice. He still performed perfectly in all assessments, but he stopped demonstrating abilities beyond what an exceptional student might have. He let his taijutsu matches last a few exchanges before winning. He missed an occasional kunai throw on purpose. He pretended to struggle with complex jutsu before figuring them out. The other students began to relax around him. If the silver-haired freak was just a prodigy rather than an unstoppable monster, that was something they could understand. Friendships formed slowly. Shikamaru became a genuine friend. Their conversations ranging from tactical theory to philosophy to the best places to nap in the village. Shikamaru's sharp mind appreciated Naruto's insights, and Naruto enjoyed the Nara's lazy honesty. Hinata's admiration grew into something deeper, though she was too shy to express it. Naruto noticed, of course. He noticed everything, but he treated her with consistent kindness and patience, never pushing her beyond her comfort zone. Even some of the former hostile students warmed to him. When Kiba Inuzuka's dog Akamaru was injured during training, Naruto carried the pup to the vet clinic with such gentle care that Kiba couldn't maintain his prejudice. When Choji Akimichi was mocked by bullies for his weight, Naruto's quiet defense, 3 calm sentences that made the bullies slink away ashamed, earned the Akimichi's loyalty. Slowly, imperceptibly, Naruto became part of the class rather than an outsider, but he never forgot what he was. Every night, he meditated, communicating with Kurama, refining his control, pushing the limits of his abilities in private. The Nine Tails, subdued by the divine energy that permeated Naruto's being, had become almost friendly. You're an anomaly, Kit, Kurama rumbled during one meditation session. I've existed for thousands of years, and I've never encountered anything like you. Gods and demons, sages and monsters, none of them compare. I'm just Naruto, the boy replied within his mindscape, sitting cross-legged before the massive fox. Whatever I am, whatever this power is, I'm still just me. That's what makes you dangerous, Kurama said, amusement in his ancient voice. You don't seek power. You don't crave destruction. You just want to protect people. The world doesn't know what to do with that. Then I'll show them. At age 12, graduation day arrived. Iruka stood before the class, older now, more confident in his teaching and genuinely proud of his students. Today, you all take the first step toward becoming true shinobi of the leaf. The graduation exam is simple. Demonstrate the clone jutsu, the transformation jutsu, and the substitution jutsu. Pass all 3, and you receive your headband. The class buzzed with nervous energy. 3 years of training had led to this moment. One by one, students entered the testing room and emerged with headbands, grinning with relief and excitement. Some failed and left in tears, knowing they'd have to repeat the year. Uzumaki Naruto, Iruka called. Naruto entered the room, silver hair catching the light. Iruka and Mizuki, the assistant instructor, sat behind the desk. Mizuki's eyes held a calculating look that Naruto noticed immediately, but chose to ignore. Whenever you're ready, Iruka said. Clone jutsu. Naruto formed a single hand sign, and 20 perfect clones appeared around him, each identical down to the smallest detail. They moved independently, showing they were solid and real before dispersing. Transformation jutsu. Naruto became Iruka, perfect in every detail, then transformed into Mizuki, then the Hokage, cycling through each with casual ease. Substitution jutsu. Iruka threw a kunai. Naruto stood still, and at the last instant, a log appeared where he'd been standing, the kunai embedded in the wood. Naruto stood beside it, having moved so quickly and smoothly that neither instructor had seen the transition. Pass, Iruka said, smiling as he handed over the headband. Congratulations, Naruto. You're officially a genin of Konoha. Thank you, Iruka-sensei. Naruto tied the headband around his forehead, the metal plate gleaming against his silver hair. For everything. After Naruto left, Mizuki leaned back with a disturbed expression. That kid is going to be a problem. He's going to be a hero, Iruka corrected. You'll see. Team assignments were announced the next day. Hiruzen had spent weeks deliberating over where to place Naruto. The traditional Team 7 setup wouldn't work. Naruto didn't need a teacher in the conventional sense. What he needed was a team that could benefit from his presence while also providing him with challenges beyond raw power. Team 9, Iruka announced to the gathered new Genin. Uzumaki Naruto, Hyuga Hinata, and Nara Shikamaru. Your Jonin instructor is Asuma Sarutobi. Naruto, Hinata, and Shikamaru exchanged glances. This was unexpected, but not unwelcome. They'd grown comfortable with each other over the years. A bearded man walked in, cigarette dangling from his lips, examining his new students with sharp eyes. Asuma Sarutobi, son of the third Hokage, was a Jonin known for his wind-style techniques and practical approach to teaching. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes, Asuma said, then vanished in a swirl of leaves. When the 3 Genin arrived on the roof, Asuma was leaning against the railing, studying them. Let's start with introductions. Name, likes, dislikes, dreams for the future. I'll go first. I'm Asuma Sarutobi. I like my students to think for themselves. I dislike people who can't see beyond their own perspective. My dream is to train the next generation of great shinobi. He gestured to Shikamaru. Shikamaru Nara. I like naps and clouds. I dislike troublesome things. My dream is to live a simple life without too much responsibility. Honest, if lazy, Asuma noted. Next. Hinata's fingers pressed together nervously. Hinata Hyuga. I like training and pressing flowers. I dislike people who are cruel. My dream is to become strong enough to protect those I care about. Good. And you, Silverhair? Naruto Uzumaki. I like people who are kind without reason. I dislike those who hurt others for pleasure. My dream is to protect this village and everyone in it. Asuma studied Naruto carefully. He'd read the boy's file, or at least the parts that weren't classified. Jinchuriki, incredible talent, mysterious abilities. The Hokage had personally briefed him on what to expect. All right, team, here's the truth. You're not real Genin yet. Tomorrow morning, you face the real test. Meet at Training Ground 10 at dawn. Don't eat breakfast. You'll just throw it up. What's the test? Shikamaru asked, already looking like he regretted being assigned to a team. You'll find out tomorrow. Dismissed. Training Ground 10 at dawn was misty and quiet. Naruto, Hinata, and Shikamaru arrived on time, finding Asuma waiting beside 3 logs set up in a triangle. He held out 2 bells, dangling from strings. The test is simple, Asuma explained. Get a bell from me before noon. There are only 2 bells, which means one of you fails and goes back to the academy. That's designed to create conflict, Shikamaru observed. Make us compete instead of cooperate. Troublesome. Perceptive. But knowing the trick and beating the test are different things. I'm a Jonin. You're fresh academy graduates. The odds aren't in your favor. We work together, Naruto said quietly. All of us pass or none of us do. Asuma smiled around his cigarette. Noble sentiment. But can you back it up? Begin. Shikamaru immediately formed hand signs. Shadow possession jutsu. His shadow stretched across the ground, racing toward Asuma. The Jonin stepped aside casually, but Hinata was already moving, her Byakugan activated. 8 trigrams, 16 palms. She struck at Asuma's chakra points, her gentle fist style precise and focused. Asuma blocked with his chakra-infused trench knives, impressed by her form but easily defending. These kids were skilled for Genin, but they weren't. Naruto appeared behind him, not with a substitution, not with a clone. He simply moved, his body flowing through space with that impossible efficiency, and his palm touched Asuma's back gently. Tagged, Naruto said softly. Asuma felt it, the absolute certainty that if this had been a real fight, he'd be dead. That gentle touch could have been a kunai between his ribs, a chakra strike to his spine, anything. The boy had moved through his defenses like they didn't exist. Asuma spun, bells jangling, and found all 3 Genin working in coordination. Shikamaru's shadow caught his actual shadow this time, holding him in place for a precious second. Hinata struck from the left, and Naruto moved with that flowing grace, fingers reaching for the bells. The Jonin released a burst of wind chakra, breaking free and leaping backward. Not bad. But you'll need more than teamwork. We have more than teamwork, Shikamaru said, hands in his pockets, looking bored despite the intensity. We have him. Naruto's silver aura flared to life, barely visible in the morning light. Asuma-sensei, I don't want to hurt you. Please give us the bells. Make me, Asuma challenged, forming wind chakra around his fists. What followed was a demonstration that would define Team 9's reputation for years to come. Asuma attacked with Jonin-level taijutsu, his strikes empowered by wind chakra, each blow capable of shattering stone. Naruto's body moved, flowing around every attack like water around rocks. Punches passed through empty space, kicks found nothing but air. Asuma's hands flew through signs. Wind style, vacuum bullet. Compressed air bullets shot from Asuma's mouth, fast and deadly. Naruto tilted his head, raised a hand, shifted his stance, each projectile missing by centimeters. His silver eyes remained calm, observing rather than fighting. Your movements are efficient, Naruto noted, dodging a sweeping kick. But you telegraph your intentions half a second before executing. Your weight shifts, prepare for techniques before you form the seals. Asuma's eyes widened. This kid was analyzing him mid-combat? Hinata and Shikamaru continued their support. Shikamaru's shadow creating openings, Hinata's Byakugan calling out chakra points. But it was Naruto who dominated the field, his presence transforming the fight from a test into a lesson. Wind style, divine wind. Asuma unleashed a massive cutting wind, his most powerful technique short of his ultimate moves. Naruto raised both hands, and the silver aura around him intensified. The wind hit the aura and dispersed, scattering harmlessly around him like a breeze against a mountain. Then Naruto moved, not attacking, just moving. He appeared beside Asuma, fingers already holding both bells, removed so quickly and smoothly that Asuma hadn't felt them leave his belt. We pass, Naruto said simply, handing one bell to Hinata and one to Shikamaru. Asuma stood frozen, mind trying to process what had just happened. He'd fought Missing 9, participated in wars, trained under the elite, and a 12-year-old genin had just completely neutralized him without throwing a single strike. How? You're strong, Asuma-sensei, Naruto said respectfully. But strength alone doesn't guarantee victory. We worked together, observed your patterns, and I removed the objective while you were focused on combat. That's teamwork. Slowly, Asuma began to laugh. The old man warned me you were special. I didn't believe him. Team 9, you pass. But there are only 2 bells, Hinata pointed out softly. The bells were never the real test. The real test was whether you'd work together or turn on each other. You chose teamwork. That's what being a shinobi means. Asuma lit a new cigarette, still chuckling. Though I'll admit I've never had a team just take the bells from me before. You 3 are going to be interesting. Team 9's first missions were standard genin fare. They helped farmers harvest crops, located lost pets, painted fences, and delivered packages. Boring, mindless work that made Shikamaru complain constantly and made Hinata wonder if they'd ever do anything meaningful. But Naruto approached each mission with the same calm dedication. When they found Mrs. Takahashi's lost cat, Naruto tracked it through the village, up a tree, and across rooftops with patient efficiency, returning it unharmed and comforting the elderly woman with gentle kindness. When they painted Mr. Suzuki's fence, Naruto worked with perfect precision, each stroke even and smooth, finishing his section faster than seemed possible, while the others struggled. You know these missions are beneath you. Shikamaru muttered during one particularly boring assignment, weeding a garden for a retired ninja. No mission is beneath anyone, Naruto replied, carefully removing weeds without damaging the surrounding plants. Every task helps someone. Mrs. Tanaka can't maintain this garden herself anymore. We're helping her keep something she loves. That matters. You're too nice. You know that? Naruto smiled. Someone has to be. After 3 weeks of D-rank missions, Asuma requested a meeting with the Hokage. They're ready for something more challenging, Asuma reported, standing in Hiruzen's office. Especially Naruto. I've never seen anything like him, Lord Hokage. His abilities are beyond most jonin I know. I'm aware, Hiruzen said, smoking his pipe, but the boy is still 12 years old. Throwing him into dangerous situations too quickly could be harmful. With respect, sir, keeping him on D ranks is a waste. The team functions well together. Shikamaru's tactical mind, Hinata's observation skills, and Naruto's everything. They can handle a C rank. Hiruzen considered this. Very well. I have a mission that might suit them. The next morning, Team 9 assembled in the Hokage's office. Your mission, Hiruzen announced, is to escort a bridge builder named Tazuna to the Land of Waves and protect him while he completes a bridge. This is officially a C-rank mission. Bandits and maybe some minor criminals might interfere, but nothing a capable Genin team can't handle. A drunk old man stumbled into the office, bottle in hand, squinting at the team. These brats are supposed to protect me? Especially that short silver-haired kid? I'm doomed. Naruto's expression didn't change, but he studied Tazuna carefully. The man's fear was genuine, deeper than simple alcoholism could explain. Something was terribly wrong with this mission. We'll keep you safe, Naruto said quietly. You have my word. Tazuna snorted, but something in the boy's silver eyes made him hesitate. Fine. Whatever. Let's just get this over with. Team 9 packed supplies and met at the village gates an hour later. Asuma gave them final instructions, emphasizing caution and teamwork, and they set off toward the Land of Waves. The first day passed peacefully. They traveled through forests and across countryside. Tazuna complaining constantly about the heat, his feet, the pace, everything. Shikamaru looked ready to strangle the old man, but Naruto remained patient, occasionally helping Tazuna over difficult terrain without being asked. On the second day, Naruto noticed the puddle. It was a small detail, a puddle on the road. Despite no rain for days and bright sunshine, his silver eyes tracked it without breaking stride, his body preparing for action while his face remained calm. Hinata? Naruto said softly. Byakugan. She activated it immediately, chakra flooding her eyes. 2 people hiding in the puddle. Water-style chakra. Before Asuma could react, the puddle erupted. 2 men emerged, masked and armed with clawed gauntlets connected by chains. The demon brothers wanted missing Nin from the hidden mist, struck with lethal intent. Asuma-sensei, protect Tazuna, Naruto said calmly, stepping forward. The chain whipped toward him, blades designed to shred flesh. Naruto's body tilted, the chain passing millimeters from his face. The second brother attacked from behind, claws aimed for his spine. Naruto's hand moved, catching the man's wrist mid-strike with gentle precision. Water-style, water-clone jutsu. The brothers formed clones, surrounding Team 9 with over a dozen enemies. Shadow possession. Shikamaru's jutsu caught 3 clones and holding them in place. Hinata moved with newfound confidence, her gentle fist destroying clones with targeted strikes. But it was Naruto who dominated the battle. He moved through the enemies like a dance, untouchable and unstoppable. Every attack missed, every counter connected. Water clones dispersed under his precise strikes. When one of the real brothers tried to grab Tazuna, Naruto appeared between them, his palm meeting the man's chest. The impact was quiet, but devastating. The missing 9 flew backward, crashing through trees, unconscious before he landed. The second brother, seeing his partner defeated so easily, tried to flee. Naruto's hand formed a seal. Shadow clone jutsu. 10 clones appeared, surrounding the man. The original Naruto walked forward slowly, silver eyes calm but serious. You were hired to kill Tazuna, Naruto stated. Who hired you? Please don't lie. I can see your heart rate, your breathing, the micro-expressions you can't control. Just tell me the truth. The missing 9 swallowed hard. This kid was terrifying in a way that had nothing to do with violence. Gato, the shipping magnate, he wants the bridge builder dead before the bridge is completed. Thank you for your honesty. Naruto's hand touched the man's forehead and he slumped unconscious. Asuma-sensei, we should restrain them and send word to Konoha. These are wanted criminals worth significant bounty. Asuma nodded slowly, still processing how quickly his Genin team, especially Naruto, had ended the fight. Agreed. Tazuna, you have some explaining to do. This was supposed to be a simple escort mission, but we were just attacked by Chunin-level missing Nin. Tazuna looked down, shame on his weathered face. The Land of Waves is poor. We couldn't afford a higher-ranked mission, but Gato, he controls everything. The shipping, the economy, even hired thugs to intimidate anyone who opposes him. The bridge is our only hope to break his control. You lied about the mission parameters, Asuma said sternly. We should turn back. No, Naruto said quietly. Everyone looked at him. We continue. These people need help. That's more important than mission protocol. Naruto, that's not how. Asuma-sensei, I respect your authority, but I'm going to complete this mission regardless. If you want to take Hinata and Shikamaru back, I understand, but I won't abandon people who need protection. Asuma stared at his silver-haired student, seeing the absolute conviction in those ancient eyes. He sighed, lighting a cigarette. The old man did warn me you had a strong sense of justice. Fine. We continue. But we're calling this what it is. At minimum, a B-rank mission, possibly A rank depending on what else Gato has hired. Thank you, Tazuna said, tears in his eyes. You don't know what this means to my country. We'll find out soon enough, Shikamaru muttered. How troublesome. They continued toward the land of waves, taking a boat across the foggy waters. The mist was thick, oppressive, and Naruto felt the presence before he saw it. A massive sword materialized in the fog, swinging toward the boat. Naruto's hand shot up, catching the blade between his palms, silver chakra flaring. The boat rocked but didn't capsize. Impressive, a cold voice said from the mist. A brat caught Kubikirabocho. Interesting. The fog cleared slightly, revealing a man standing on the sword, tall, bandaged, with a hidden mist headband slashed through with a line indicating his status as a rogue ninja. Zabuza Momochi, Asuma identified, hand moving to his trench knives. One of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. This just became an A-rank mission. The demon of the hidden mist, Zabuza said, his voice carrying dark amusement. Gato paid well to kill the bridge builder. Hand him over, and I'll let the rest of you live. That won't happen, Naruto said calmly, still holding the massive sword in place with just his hands. His silver eyes met Zabuza's visible eye. Leave now, and you won't be hurt. Zabuza laughed, a harsh sound. A kid thinks he can threaten me? Let's see if. Naruto twisted, and Kubikirabocho wrenched from Zabuza's grip, spinning through the air. Naruto caught it by the handle, the massive blade that weighed over 100 pounds held easily in his small hands. This sword is heavy with the blood of innocence, Naruto observed, examining it. You should stop killing people who can't defend themselves. Zabuza's visible eye widened in shock. His sword, the blade he'd wielded for years, taken by a 12-year-old. Impossible. Hidden mist jutsu. Thick fog exploded outward, reducing visibility to 0. Zabuza's specialty, the silent killing technique. He could kill without being seen, without being heard, a ghost in the mist. Hinata, close your eyes, Naruto instructed calmly. Trust me. Shikamaru, protect Tazuna. Asuma-sensei, stay with the boat. In the absolute darkness of the fog, Zabuza moved with lethal intent. Years of assassination experience guided his movements. He could hear heartbeats, sense fear, smell blood. The silver-haired brat would die first, then Naruto's hand caught Zabuza's wrist mid-strike. You're behind me, Naruto said softly. Then to my left, now above, now to the right. Your pattern is predictable. Zabuza wrenched free and tried again, and again. Every attack was blocked, dodged, or countered. The boy moved through the mist like he could see perfectly, his body reacting to threats before they materialized. What are you? Zabuza hissed, genuine fear creeping into his voice. Someone who doesn't want to kill you, Naruto replied, but I will protect my team and my client. Please surrender. Never. Then I'm sorry. Naruto's palm struck Zabuza's chest, not hard, but with perfect precision, targeting the chakra network. Zabuza's body seized, his chakra flow disrupted, and he collapsed to the boat's floor, paralyzed but alive. The mist cleared. Asuma, Hinata, Shikamaru, and Tazuna stared at the scene. One of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, a legendary killer, lay defeated at Naruto's feet. He'll recover in a few hours, Naruto said, examining the unconscious ninja. We should restrain him and... Senbon needles pierced Zabuza's neck. A masked figure appeared on the boat's railing, wearing a hunter nin mask from the hidden mist. Thank you for weakening him. I'll take the body from here. Wait, Naruto said, silver eyes narrowing. Those Senbon hit non-lethal points? Zabuza is still alive. The masked figure froze. You can tell that? Your hands trembled when you threw them. You didn't want to kill him. You're trying to save him. A long pause. Then the figure's posture shifted from hostile to resigned. Perceptive. Yes, Zabuza-sama is alive. I placed him in a death-like state to retrieve him. I'm Haku, his companion. Why protect a killer? Asuma asked, weapons ready. Because he saved me when I had nothing, Haku replied, voice soft beneath the mask. Because despite his reputation, he's not the monster people think he is. Naruto looked at Haku, at the unconscious Zabuza, and made a decision. Take him, but tell him this mission is over. If he tries to kill Tazuna again, I won't be merciful. You're letting us go? Haku's voice carried surprise. Everyone deserves a second chance. Use it wisely. Haku gathered Zabuza's body with practiced ease and vanished in a swirl of water and mist, leaving Team 9 alone on the boat. That was risky, Asuma said carefully. What if they attack again? They won't, Naruto said with quiet certainty. Haku is tired of killing. Zabuza is tired of running. They need a way out of the life they're trapped in. Maybe this mission will show them that path. You can't save everyone, Naruto, Asuma warned. I know, but I can try. They reached the land of waves and were taken to Tazuna's home. His daughter Tsunami welcomed them warmly, grateful for their protection. Her son Inari, a boy about 8 years old, glared at them with cynical eyes. Heroes don't exist, Inari muttered. Gato will kill you like he killed everyone else who opposed him. Naruto knelt to Inari's level, silver eyes gentle. Heroes are just people who help others when they're needed. I'm not special. I just choose to do what I think is right. You don't understand anything. Inari shouted, tears forming. My father tried to stand up to Gato. He tried to be a hero, and Gato had him killed in front of everyone. Heroes die. Only cowards survive. Your father was brave, Naruto said softly. His death wasn't meaningless. You're here because of his sacrifice. That matters. Inari ran from the room, crying. Tsunami looked at Naruto with sad eyes. Thank you for trying. He hasn't been the same since his father died. Over the next few days, Team 9 guarded Tazuna as he worked on the bridge. Workers, emboldened by the ninja's presence, returned to construction. The bridge slowly took shape, connecting the land of waves to the mainland. Naruto spent his spare time training and meditating. One evening, Haku appeared in the forest where Naruto practiced. You're not surprised to see me? Haku observed, mask removed, revealing a beautiful androgynous face. I felt your presence watching us for the past 2 days. Naruto replied, sitting on a tree branch. You're curious about me. Zabuza-sama is recovering. He wants to complete the mission. Gato paid in advance, but I wanted to speak with you first. Why? Because you're different from other ninja. You fight without hatred. You spare enemies when you could kill. Why? Naruto looked up at the stars. Because I've been hated my whole life. I know what it feels like to be seen as a monster. I don't want to become what people feared I was. The villagers fear you? They fear the 9 tails sealed inside me. They see a demon, not a person. Haku sat beside him, eyes distant. I understand. I have a bloodline limit, ice style. In the hidden mist, bloodline users were hunted and killed. My own father tried to murder me when he discovered my abilities. Zabuza-sama saved me, gave me purpose. Purpose as a tool for killing? Is that so different from being a ninja? Naruto considered this. Yes, ninja protect their village, their comrades, their beliefs. We fight when necessary, but we don't kill for money or because someone paid us. We fight for something meaningful. And if Zabuza-sama attacks again, if we meet on the bridge, then I'll stop him, Naruto said simply. I don't want to hurt either of you, but I'll protect Tazuna and his dream. That's my mission. Haku stood, replacing the mask. Then we'll meet as enemies. I'm sorry for that. So am I. The attack came 3 days later. Gato, furious that Zabuza had failed and paranoid about the bridge's completion, hired an army of thugs and brought them to the construction site. Over 100 men, armed with weapons and cruel intent, marched toward the bridge. Zabuza stood at the front, bandages removed, revealing a face marked by scars and hard living. Haku stood beside him, masked and ready. This is your last chance, Zabuza called out to Team 9 and the workers. Leave now, and only the bridge builder dies. Tazuna gripped his hammer, defiant despite his fear. I won't run. The workers, inspired by his courage and protected by the ninja, stood firm. Naruto stepped forward, silver hair flowing in the ocean breeze, eyes calm. Zabuza, Haku, you don't have to do this. Gato is using you. There's another way. There's no other way for people like us, Zabuza growled. We're weapons. This is what we were made for. You're human beings, Naruto replied. You choose what you become. Enough talk. Gato's voice rang out, the short businessman appearing with his army. Kill them all. I'll pay double. Zabuza and Haku hesitated, and in that moment of hesitation, Gato made a mistake. And after you're done with them, kill that failure Zabuza and his little pet. I'm tired of paying for incompetence. Silence fell over the bridge. Zabuza's eye widened, betrayal flashing across his face. Haku's hands clenched into fists. You. Zabuza's voice was dangerous. You planned to betray us from the start. Of course, Gato laughed. You think I'd pay a fortune to a missing nin? You were always disposable. Naruto moved in, his body a blur of silver light. He appeared beside Gato, hand on the man's shoulder, voice cold and serious. You've hurt innocent people, stolen their livelihoods, killed those who opposed you, ordered the deaths of my team. That ends now. Gato paled, feeling the weight of divine energy crushing down on him. Wait, I can pay you. Whatever they're paying, I'll triple it. Some things aren't for sale. Naruto's palm struck Gato's chest. The corrupt businessman flew backward, crashing into his own thugs, unconscious. The army of hired criminals, seeing their employer defeated by a child, panicked and fled. Zabuza and Haku stood frozen, watching as Naruto single-handedly ended the threat they'd been working for. What happens to us now? Haku asked quietly. Naruto turned to them, silver eyes gentle. That's your choice. You can keep running, keep killing, keep being what others made you, or you can choose something different. Like what? Zabuza asked bitterly. We're criminals, missing nin. There's no redemption for people like us. Everyone deserves a chance to change, Naruto said. Help rebuild this country, protect the people instead of threatening them. Become the heroes this place needs. Zabuza laughed, but it was hollow. You're naive, kid? Maybe, but I believe people can be better than their worst moments. Asuma stepped forward. I'll speak with the Hokage. If you're serious about changing, Konoha might offer asylum in exchange for service. It's not a guarantee, but it's a chance. Haku looked at Zabuza. Zabuza looked at the bridge, at the workers, at the hope in Tezuna's eyes. Fine, the former demon of the mist said grudgingly. We'll try it your way. But if this is a trap, it's not, Naruto assured him. You'll see. The bridge was completed 2 weeks later. The people of the Land of Waves celebrated, naming it the Great Naruto Bridge in honor of the silver-haired ninja who had protected their dream. Naruto tried to refuse the honor, but Tezuna insisted. You showed us that heroes do exist, Tezuna said, gripping Naruto's shoulder. You protected us, saved us, and gave us hope. This bridge stands because of you. Inari, no longer cynical, hugged Naruto tightly. Thank you for showing me heroes are real. Team 9 returned to Konoha with Zabuza and Haku in custody, not as prisoners, but as potential allies. The debriefing with the Hokage lasted hours, but ultimately, Hiruzen agreed to Asuma's proposal. You'll work under Ambu's supervision, Hiruzen told the two former missing 9. Prove yourselves, and we'll discuss permanent asylum. Betray this trust, and there will be consequences. Understood, Zabuza said, surprisingly respectful. News of Team 9's mission spread through Konoha. A team of fresh genin had completed an A-rank mission, defeated one of the 7 swordsmen, dismantled a criminal empire, and brought back 2 powerful potential allies. But most of the talk centered on Naruto, the silver-haired genin who couldn't be touched, who fought with divine power, who had shown mercy to enemies and inspired hope in the hopeless. The Uzumaki kid is something else, Jonin whispered in the mission room. Did you hear? He caught Kubikira Bocho with his bare hands. They say he defeated Zabuza without a scratch. Naruto ignored the gossip, returning to his normal routine of training and meditation. But things had changed. People looked at him differently now, not with fear or hatred, but with cautious respect. The Chunin exams were announced 2 months later. Hiruzen gathered the Jonin instructors, discussing which teams would participate. When Asuma recommended Team 9, some instructors protested. They've only been genin for a few months, Kurenai Yuhi argued. The Chunin exams are dangerous. Team 9 isn't a normal genin team, Asuma countered. They've completed multiple C ranks and an A rank. They're ready. It's not just about missions, another Jonin said. The exams test combat ability, strategy, survival skills. Can they handle ninja from other villages? Naruto Uzumaki defeated Zabuza Momochi, Asuma stated flatly. I think they can handle themselves. Hiruzen approved their entry, along with several other teams. Team 8, led by Kurenai, consisting of Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Aburame, and Sakura Haruno. Team 10, led by another instructor with different members than canon. The teams would represent Konoha's next generation. When Asuma told Team 9 they'd been entered, reactions varied. Troublesome, Shikamaru muttered, but there was pride in his voice. I'll do my best, Hinata said quietly, determination in her lavender eyes. Naruto simply nodded. When do they begin? The first exam was held in the academy building, a written test designed to test information gathering skills and decision-making under pressure. The proctor, Ibiki Morino, a scarred veteran of the torture and interrogation department, explained the rules. 10 questions, only 9 visible. The 10th would be revealed later. Get caught cheating 3 times, and the entire team fails. The point isn't to answer honestly, Shikamaru whispered to his teammates before the exam began. It's to cheat without getting caught. Information gathering. Hinata activated her Byakugan subtly, reading answers from other participants. Shikamaru used his intelligence to deduce answers through logic. Naruto sat calmly, silver eyes scanning the questions. The questions were difficult, some impossible for Jinin to answer without specialized knowledge. But Naruto didn't cheat. He simply answered each question with perfect accuracy, his divine awareness allowing him to recall every text he'd ever read, every lesson he'd absorbed. When Ibiki announced the 10th question, the tension in the room became crushing. This question determines whether you continue in the exams or remain Jinin forever. But here's the catch. If you choose to take the question and fail, you'll never be allowed to take the Chunin exams again. Or you can refuse now, fail this exam, and try again next year. Several teams stood and left, unable to handle the pressure. But Team 9 remained seated. Those of you still here have chosen to take the 10th question, Ibiki said, which means you've already passed. There is no 10th question. Confusion rippled through the remaining participants. This exam tested your courage, your ability to gather information under pressure, and your willingness to face the unknown. Ninja must make impossible decisions with incomplete information. You've all proven you can do that. The first exam is over. A window shattered and a wild-looking woman in a tan coat burst through, unfurling a banner. Listen up, maggots. I'm Anko Mitarashi, proctor for the second exam. Follow me to Training Ground 44. The forest of death loomed before the remaining teams, a massive fenced wilderness filled with dangerous creatures and deadly terrain. Anko grinned maniacally as she explained the second exam. This is a survival test. Each team gets either a heaven scroll or an earth scroll. Your goal is to get the other scroll and reach the tower in the center of the forest within 5 days. Fights are expected. Deaths are possible. Sign these waivers. Naruto signed without hesitation, as did his teammates. Team 9 received an earth scroll and entered the forest at their designated gate. Strategy? Shikamaru asked as they moved through the trees. We need a heaven scroll, Hinata noted. We could wait near the tower and ambush teams as they arrive. Or we find a team quickly and end this, Naruto suggested. The faster we complete the exam, the more time we have to rest and prepare for whatever comes next. They moved deeper into the forest, Hinata's Byakugan active, scanning for other teams. Within an hour, she spotted chakra signatures. 3 people, 200 meters northeast, moving fast. Team 9 changed direction, intercepting the other team. 3 Jinin from the Hidden Rain village, soaked and miserable. We don't want to fight, Naruto said calmly, stepping into their path. Just give us your scroll if it's heaven, and we'll let you continue. The Rain Ninja laughed. A Konoha team wants us to just hand over our scroll? Make us Silverhair. Water-style techniques erupted. Water bullets, water whips, water clones. The Rain village specialized in water jutsu, and the forest's humidity gave them an advantage. Naruto's body moved through the attacks, untouchable. Shikamaru's shadow possession caught one ninja. Hinata's gentle fist destroyed the water clones. Within 2 minutes, the fight was over. The Rain Ninja unconscious or restrained. They have an earth scroll like us, Hinata reported, checking their supplies. Then we continue searching, Naruto said, helping tie up the Rain Ninja so they wouldn't be eaten by forest predators before they woke. They encountered 3 more teams over the next day. Each fight ended quickly, Naruto's abilities making traditional combat almost pointless. Finally, they found a team from the Hidden Grass village with a heaven scroll. Please just give it to us, Naruto requested. We don't want to hurt you. The silver-haired demon, one of the grass ninja, whispered, recognizing him from rumors. Team, retreat! They fled without fighting. Team 9 followed, and when the grass team realized they couldn't escape, they threw the scroll at Naruto and ran. Well, that was easy. Shikamaru muttered. With both scrolls, Team 9 reached the tower in the center of the forest. They were the first team to arrive, completing the exam in less than 2 days. Inside the tower, a Chunin instructor greeted them, looking surprised. "You're early, very early. Open your scrolls together." When they did, smoke erupted and Asuma appeared. "Congratulations," their sensei said, smiling proudly. "You've passed the second exam. The scrolls contain a message about the qualities of a Chunin: wisdom, courage, teamwork. You've demonstrated all three." Other teams began arriving over the following days. By the deadline, 20 teams had passed, meaning 60 genin would continue to the next phase. The third exam preliminaries were held in an arena beneath the tower. Hiruzen and the other Kages watched from a viewing platform as Hayate Gecko, a sickly-looking proctor, explained the rules. "Too many people passed the second exam. We need to reduce numbers for the finals. One-on-one fights, winner advances, loser goes home. Random matchups will be displayed on that board." Names appeared on the electronic board. First match, Uzumaki Naruto versus Yoroi Akado. Naruto stepped into the arena, facing a hidden leaf genin wearing glasses and a hood. Yoroi's specialty was chakra absorption. Touching an opponent drained their energy, weakening them for finishing strikes. "Begin!" Hayate called. Yoroi rushed forward, hands reaching to grab Naruto. The silver-haired genin's body shifted and Yoroi grasped empty air. Again and again, Yoroi tried to make contact, his chakra-draining technique useless if he couldn't touch his opponent. "Stand still!" Yoroi growled, frustrated. "That would be unwise," Naruto replied calmly. Yoroi formed hand signs. Chakra absorption technique, range drain. Chakra tendrils extended from his hands, seeking Naruto's energy. But when they touched the silver aura surrounding Naruto, they recoiled as if burned. "Your technique absorbs chakra," Naruto observed. "But this isn't just chakra, it's something else." Naruto's palm struck Yoroi's chest, gentle but precise. The impact echoed through the arena, and Yoroi collapsed, unconscious. "Winner, Uzumaki Naruto." The watching genin and jonin muttered among themselves. The fight had lasted less than a minute. More matches followed. Hinata defeated her opponent with graceful, gentle fist technique. Shikamaru won through strategy, using his shadow possession cleverly. Other teams had mixed results. One match caught Naruto's attention: Neji Hyuga versus Rock Lee. Neji, a prodigy from the main branch of the Hyuga clan, fought with cold precision. Rock Lee, a taijutsu specialist who couldn't use ninjutsu or genjutsu, fought with passionate determination. The battle was intense, Lee's speed and strength pushing Neji to his limits. But ultimately, Neji's Byakugan and gentle fist prevailed, leaving Lee defeated but not broken. "Fate determines everything," Neji declared coldly. "You were fated to lose because you can't use ninjutsu." Naruto watched with serious eyes, seeing the bitterness and pain beneath Neji's arrogance. Another match drew gasps. Gaara of the Sand versus a Konoha genin named Dosu. Gaara stood motionless as Dosu attacked with sound-based techniques. Sand automatically defended Gaara, crushing Dosu's attacks and eventually crushing Dosu himself, leaving him broken and bleeding on the arena floor. "That kid is a monster," Shikamaru whispered. "He's in pain," Naruto replied softly, watching Gaara's cold, lifeless eyes. "Like me." The preliminaries concluded with 16 genin advancing to the finals. Naruto, Shikamaru, Hinata, Neji, Gaara, several others from various villages. "The finals will be held in 1 month, Hayate announced. "Use this time to train and prepare." Dismissed. The month of training was intense. Asuma worked with Shikamaru on advanced tactics and shadow jutsu variations. Kurenai, at Asuma's request, helped Hinata refine her gentle fist and build confidence. And Naruto was approached by someone unexpected. Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, appeared in Naruto's apartment one evening. "So you're the kid with the silver hair and impossible abilities," Jiraiya said, examining Naruto like a fascinating puzzle. "The Hokage asked me to evaluate you." "Evaluate?" "To see if you're as strong as the rumors suggest. Come on, let's spar." They went to a remote training ground. Jiraiya, despite his perverted tendencies and casual demeanor, was a legendary ninja, and when he got serious, his power was overwhelming. "Show me what you've got," Jiraiya commanded. Naruto's silver aura flared to life, and he moved. Jiraiya's eyes widened as the 12-year-old came at him with speed and precision that matched Jonin-level taijutsu. Punches flowed, kicks connected, and Jiraiya found himself actually defending seriously. "Rasengan!" Jiraiya formed the spiraling sphere of chakra in his palm and thrust it toward Naruto. Naruto's hand moved, and impossibly, he caught the Rasengan, the spinning chakra compressing in his grip before dispersing harmlessly. Interesting technique, Naruto said, rotating chakra without hand signs. The fourth Hokage created this, didn't he? How did you? Jiraiya stared. That should have blown your arm off. My body moves to protect itself. It's automatic. Jiraiya grinned. You're not just strong, you're a prodigy beyond anything I've seen. Want to learn the Rasengan? It was your father's technique. You knew my father? I trained him. Minato was my student, and he was brilliant. You have his intelligence and your mother's determination. Plus, whatever the hell that silver power is. For the next month, Jiraiya taught Naruto the Rasengan, though Naruto mastered it in 3 days, adding his own silver chakra to create a technique he called Divine Rasengan, a spiraling sphere of silver energy far more powerful than the original. Jiraiya also taught him about the tailed beasts, about sealing techniques, about the ninja world's history and politics, and slowly, Naruto began to understand his place in a larger conflict. The Akatsuki, Jiraiya warned one evening. A criminal organization hunting Jinchuriki, people like you who carry tailed beasts. They're dangerous, and eventually, they'll come for you. Let them come, Naruto said calmly. I'll protect myself and the Nine Tails. You're confident. That's good. But don't be arrogant. These people have killed Kaji-level ninja. I understand. Thank you for the warning. The Chunin exam finals arrived with fanfare and ceremony. A massive stadium was filled with spectators, villagers, nobles, even the Kazekage from the hidden sand village, sitting beside the Hokage in the viewing box. The 16 finalists stood in the arena as Hayate explained the format. One-on-one matches, elimination bracket, fight until your opponent can't continue, first match. Naruto Uzumaki versus Neji Hyuga. The two stepped into the arena, facing each other, Neji's Byakugan activated, veins bulging around his eyes. You're strong, Neji acknowledged, but fate has already determined the outcome of this fight. I am a genius of the Hyuga clan. You cannot defeat me. Fate isn't absolute, Naruto replied quietly. We choose our own paths. Then let me show you the futility of fighting fate. Gentle fist, 8 trigrams, 64 palms. Neji exploded forward, his hands striking at Naruto's chakra points with blinding speed. 2 palms, 4, 8, 16. Each strike intended to seal Naruto's chakra network and end the fight. But none of them landed. Naruto's body moved, flowing around each strike with impossible precision. Neji's Byakugan could see the chakra points, could predict movements, but it didn't matter. Naruto's body moved before the attacks arrived, untouchable and serene. Impossible! Neji gasped, breathing heavily from the exertion. My Byakugan sees everything. You should be hit! Your eyes see the present, Naruto said gently. My body responds to the future. You can't hit what's already moved. Neji's face twisted with frustration and anger. You don't understand. Fate is absolute. The branch family is fated to serve the main family. The weak are fated to lose to the strong. Nothing changes. You're wrong, Naruto said, his voice carrying throughout the silent stadium. My whole life, people said I was fated to be hated, to be alone, to be a monster. But I chose to be kind instead. I chose to protect people. I chose my own fate. You can too. You don't know anything. Neji shouted, forming his ultimate technique, rotation. Chakra erupted from every point in Neji's body, spinning into a protective dome. The Hyuga clan's absolute defense, impossible to penetrate. Naruto raised his hand and silver light condensed in his palm. Divine Rasengan, the spiraling sphere of silver energy formed, beautiful and terrifying. Naruto walked forward calmly, and when the Rasengan touched the rotation, the chakra barrier shattered like glass. Neji's eyes widened in shock as the technique broke through his absolute defense, dissipating just before it would have seriously injured him. Naruto's hand stopped inches from Neji's chest. Fate didn't decide this fight, Naruto said softly. Our choices did. I chose to protect this village. You chose to hate your family. We can both choose differently. Neji collapsed to his knees, tears streaming down his face, something breaking inside him. Winner, Uzumaki Naruto. The stadium erupted in cheers. The silver-haired Genin had defeated a Hyuga prodigy without taking a single hit. More matches followed. Shikamaru faced an opponent from the Sand Village, winning through clever strategy and shadow manipulation. Hinata fought bravely but lost to a more experienced opponent, though she'd proven her growth. And then came the match everyone feared. Gaara of the Sand versus a Konoha Genin. The fight was brutal and one-sided. Gaara's sand crushed his opponent, and only referee intervention prevented a death. The audience watched in horror as the Sand Genin stared with empty, murderous eyes. Naruto watched from the sidelines, seeing past the violence to the lonely, broken child beneath. The semi-final matches were set. Naruto versus Shikamaru and Gaara versus another finalist. Naruto faced his teammate with respect. "I forfeit," Shikamaru said immediately when their match was called. "What?" Naruto blinked in surprise. "Fighting you is too troublesome. We both know I can't win. Besides, you've got a better chance of winning the whole thing. Go show them what you can do." "Thank you, Shikamaru." In the other semi-final, Gaara defeated his opponent with terrifying efficiency, his sand crushing everything in its path. The finals were set. Naruto Uzumaki versus Gaara of the Sand. The stadium was packed for the final match. Naruto and Gaara faced each other in the arena. Gaara's sand swirled around him, restless and hungry. His eyes were wide, manic, excited. "Finally, someone strong," Gaara whispered. "Your blood will prove my existence." "You don't have to be defined by violence," Naruto said calmly. "There are other ways to find purpose." "You talk about purpose like you understand loneliness," Gaara snarled. "Do you know what it's like to be feared by everyone? To have people try to kill you because of what you are?" "Yes," Naruto said quietly. "I carry the Nine Tails. My village feared me, hated me. I was alone for years. I understand your pain." Gaara's eyes widened, genuine surprise showing through his madness. "Then you should understand why I kill, why I exist only to murder. It's the only time I feel alive." "I understand the pain," Naruto replied, silver eyes sad but determined. "But I chose a different path. You can too." "Enough talk. Sand coffin." Sand erupted from the ground, trying to encase Naruto. But the silver-haired Genin's body moved, his feet never staying in one place long enough for the sand to catch him. Gaara's attacks intensified. Sand shuriken flew through the air. Waves of sand crashed like tsunamis. The arena became a battlefield of swirling sand and silver light, and Naruto dodged everything. "Stand still!" Gaara screamed, losing control. "Let me kill you! Let me prove I exist!" The sand formed into a massive claw, crashing down toward Naruto with enough force to shatter stone. Naruto raised one hand, and his silver aura flared. The sand hit an invisible barrier and stopped, unable to penetrate. "Impossible," Gaara breathed. "Nothing stops my sand. Nothing." "Your sand is controlled by fear and pain," Naruto observed. "My power comes from something else, something stronger." Gaara's body began to transform, the one-tailed beast chakra leaking out, forming a monstrous arm of sand and chakra. "I'll kill you. I'll prove my existence through your death." Naruto closed his eyes, taking a breath, and when he opened them, his silver aura blazed with intensity that made the air shimmer. "Kurama," Naruto said softly, speaking to the Nine Tails within him. "Lend me your strength." Silver chakra mixed with red as the Nine Tails' power merged with Naruto's divine energy. But unlike Gaara's chaotic transformation, this was controlled, peaceful, harmonious. "You and your beast are in conflict," Naruto said, his voice carrying multiple tones. "Mine and I are partners. That's the difference." He moved in, too fast for most in the stadium to follow. His hand touched Gaara's chest, and a pulse of silver-red energy exploded outward. Gaara's transformation reversed, the one-tail's chakra forced back into the seal. Gaara collapsed, and Naruto caught him gently, lowering him to the ground. "You're not a monster," Naruto whispered. "You're a person in pain. I understand, but killing won't heal you. Only connection will." Tears streamed down Gaara's face, the first tears he'd cried in years. I don't know how to be anything else." "Then learn. Start today. Choose to be someone different." The referee raised Naruto's hand. "Winner of the Chunin exam finals, Uzumaki Naruto." The stadium exploded in cheers, but Naruto's attention was on Gaara, helping the broken boy to his feet, offering a hand in friendship rather than victory. And then everything went wrong. Feathers began falling from the sky, a genjutsu designed to put the stadium audience to sleep. Anbu and Jonin resisted, but civilians collapsed. The Kazekage, sitting beside Hiruzen, suddenly grabbed the Hokage, and bodyguards in Sand Village uniform appeared. "Orochimaru," Hiruzen breathed, recognizing the chakra signature beneath the Kazakaji disguise. The snake Sanin revealed himself, throwing off the disguise and laughing. Sensei, it's been too long. I've prepared a gift for Konoha. It's complete destruction. Sound Ninja poured into the stadium. Sand Ninja, revealed as Orochimaru's allies, began attacking. The Konoha Crush invasion had begun. Naruto stood in the arena, silver eyes tracking the chaos. Around him, ninja clashed, buildings burned, and civilians screamed. Asuma-sensei, Naruto called. His instructor appeared beside him. What are your orders? Protect the civilians. Evacuate the stadium. We need to minimize casualties. Naruto nodded and moved. His clones filled the stadium, each one helping guide civilians to safety, defending against attacks, creating order from chaos. On the rooftop, Hiruzen faced his former student, surrounded by a barrier created by Orochimaru's Sound 4 bodyguards. You've grown weak, Sensei, Orochimaru hissed. The leaf has grown weak. I'll crush it and rebuild something stronger. You've lost your way, Hiruzen replied sadly, removing his Hokage robes to reveal his battle gear beneath. But I'll stop you, even if it costs me everything. The barrier prevented anyone from interfering. It was a duel between master and student, and only one would survive. Naruto felt the massive chakra signatures clashing on the rooftop and wanted to help, but the civilians needed him. He split his attention, his clones working tirelessly while his real body cut through Sound and Sand Ninja with decisive efficiency. A massive snake appeared, summoned by Orochimaru, crushing buildings. Naruto's hands formed seals. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. 1,000 silver-haired clones appeared, each radiating divine energy. They swarmed the snake, their combined strikes forcing it to disperse in smoke. Jiraiya appeared, summoning Gamabunta, the giant toad boss. Kid, help evacuate. I'll handle the summons. Naruto coordinated with the legendary Sannin, their combined efforts turning the tide of battle in the stadium. But on the rooftop, Hiruzen was struggling. Orochimaru had summoned the first and second Hokages, reanimated as undead warriors. The legendary ninja fought against their will, their techniques devastating. Hiruzen countered with decades of experience and every jutsu in his arsenal, but age had weakened him. I'll end this, Hiruzen gasped, forming the seals for the Reaper Death Seal, the same technique that killed your arm's previous owner. Sensei, don't! Orochimaru realized what was happening. The Shinigami appeared, its ghostly hands reaching through Hiruzen. The old Hokage grabbed Orochimaru, pulling the snake Sannin close as the death god's hands reached for his soul. Naruto felt it, the spike of death-aligned chakra on the rooftop. His body moved on instinct, silver light surrounding him as he broke through physics itself, appearing beside Hiruzen and Orochimaru in a burst of divine speed. Stop! Naruto's hand touched the Shinigami, and impossibly, the death god paused. Orochimaru and Hiruzen stared in shock. The Reaper Death Seal was absolute. Nothing could interrupt it. And yet this 12-year-old had just grabbed the god of death. Lord Hokage, Naruto said urgently, let me handle this. You don't have to die. Naruto, this seal requires my life. Not if I substitute my energy for yours. Naruto's silver aura poured into the Shinigami, and the death god seemed to accept it? Approve? Something beyond mortal comprehension occurred. The Shinigami's hands changed course, grabbing not Hiruzen's soul but Orochimaru's arms, ripping the chakra from them without killing either Hiruzen or Orochimaru. Orochimaru screamed as his arms became useless, dead weight. Impossible! What are you? Someone who doesn't let people die unnecessarily, Naruto replied, releasing the Shinigami, which faded with what might have been satisfaction. The Sound Force barrier collapsed, Anbu flooding the rooftop. Orochimaru, armless and defeated, fled with his remaining forces, the invasion crumbling without his leadership. Hiruzen collapsed, exhausted but alive. Naruto, you saved me? You're important to this village, Naruto said gently. We need you. The third Hokage looked at the silver-haired boy who had just defied death itself and felt wonder. Your parents would be so proud. The aftermath of the Konoha Crush was painful but survivable. Casualties were lower than they might have been, thanks to Naruto's clones protecting civilians. The third Hokage survived, though he was too weak to continue as Hokage. Jiraiya declined the position, instead suggesting they find Tsunade Senju, the last of the legendary Sannin, to take the role. Gaara, saved by Naruto's words and kindness, returned to the Sand Village changed. He would later become Kazekage, but that was a story for another time. The Chunin exam results were announced despite the chaos. Naruto was promoted to Chunin, along with Shikamaru. Hinata, though she hadn't won, was also promoted for her growth and courage, but Naruto declined the promotion. "I want to stay with my team," he explained to Hiruzen. "Rank doesn't matter to me. Being there for my friends does." Hiruzen smiled, understanding completely. The mission to find Tsunade was assigned to Jiraiya with Team 9 as support. They left Konoha on a journey that took them through cities and towns, following leads on the legendary medical ninja's location. Jiraiya used the travel time to train Naruto further, teaching him about seals, about the sage arts, about the responsibilities that came with great power. They found Tsunade in a gambling den, drunk and bitter, having lost everything she loved over the years. Her brother and lover both killed in wars. Her faith in the ninja system shattered. The Hokage position? Tsunade laughed harshly when Jiraiya made the offer. "Why would I want to lead a village that killed everyone I loved?" "Because there are people there worth protecting," Naruto said quietly. "People who need someone strong and kind to guide them." Tsunade looked at the silver-haired boy. "And what do you know about loss, kid?" "I know my parents died protecting the village. I know I grew up alone and hated. I know every day I choose to protect people who feared me. Loss doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we care more, so others don't feel the same pain." Tsunade's eyes widened, seeing echoes of her brother in this strange boy's words. "Prove it," she challenged. "If you can land one hit on me in a fight, I'll consider returning to Konoha." They moved to an open field. Tsunade's chakra-enhanced strength was legendary. Her punches could shatter mountains. She was one of the Sannin, a medical ninja whose combat abilities were unmatched. She struck at Naruto with force that cratered the ground. Naruto's body moved and her fist hit empty air. Again and again, she attacked with devastating power. And every strike missed. "Stand still," Tsunade growled, frustrated. "That would be unwise," Naruto replied, echoing what he'd said to Yoroi months ago. Tsunade formed hand signs. Creation rebirth. Her healing abilities activated to maximum, allowing her to take damage without concern. She rushed Naruto with reckless abandon, sacrificing defense for overwhelming offense. Naruto's silver eyes were sad as he moved through her attacks. "You're in pain. You want to feel something, even if it's the impact of a fight. I understand." "You don't understand anything. Your brother believed in protecting the village. Your lover believed in healing people. They died for those beliefs. Abandoning everything they stood for doesn't honor them. It betrays their memory." Tsunade's eyes filled with tears, her attacks becoming sloppy, emotional. Naruto stepped inside her guard and placed his hand gently on her shoulder. "Hit," he said softly. Tsunade collapsed, not from the touch, but from the weight of her grief finally breaking through. She cried, really cried for the first time in years. Naruto sat beside her, patient and kind, letting her process the pain. "All right," Tsunade finally whispered. "I'll return to Konoha. I'll become Hokage. But you have to promise me something." "What?" "Don't die. Don't become another person I have to mourn." "I promise," Naruto said with absolute conviction. But the journey back was interrupted. Orochimaru appeared with Kabuto, his medical assistant, demanding Tsunade heal his arms. When she refused, battle erupted. Orochimaru, even without the use of his arms, was dangerous. His snake summons attacked, his techniques activated through pre-prepared scrolls, and Kabuto's medical ninjutsu made him a formidable opponent. Jiraiya and Tsunade fought the Sannin and his assistant, while Team 9 defended against the summoned snakes. It was chaos, jutsu colliding, the earth shaking from the impact of legendary ninja clashing. Naruto watched, calculating, and then made a decision. "Kurama," he said internally. "Full cooperation?" "About time, Kit," the Ninetales rumbled. "Show them what we can really do." Silver and red chakra exploded around Naruto. But unlike typical Jinchuriki transformations, this was controlled and beautiful. The Ninetales' power merged seamlessly with Naruto's divine energy, creating something new. A form that radiated both ancient fox power and celestial might. Naruto's appearance changed. His silver hair gained red highlights. His eyes glowed with both silver divinity and fox-slit awareness. 9 silver-red tails of chakra formed behind him, each one pulsing with impossible power. "What is that?" Kabuto breathed, his medical knowledge unable to comprehend what he was seeing. Naruto moved and reality seemed to bend. He appeared beside Kabuto, his palm touching the medical ninja's chest. The impact sent Kabuto flying into a cliff face, unconscious before he landed. Orochimaru's eyes widened. "You've mastered the Nine-Tails power completely. Impossible for someone your age." "Nothing's impossible," Naruto replied, his voice carrying both his own tone and Kurama's deeper rumble. "Just unlikely." He turned toward Orochimaru, and the Snake Sannin felt genuine fear for the first time in decades. "Run," Naruto suggested. "I don't want to kill you, but I will protect my friends." Orochimaru grabbed Kabuto with his snake summons and fled, unwilling to face this unknown power. The battle ended. Jiraiya and Tsunade stared at Naruto as the divine fox form faded, leaving just the silver-haired boy standing calmly. "That power," Tsunade whispered. "I've never seen anything like it." "Neither have I," Jiraiya admitted, and he'd seen a lot in his long life. "Kid, you're a walking anomaly." "I'm just Naruto," the boy replied with a small smile. They returned to Konoha, and Tsunade was inaugurated as the 5th Hokage. Her first act was to promote Naruto to Special Jonin, recognizing abilities that transcended typical rank structures. Naruto accepted this time, understanding that rank would give him more freedom to protect people. Peace settled over Konoha for a few months. Naruto continued training, helping rebuild damaged sections of the village, and forming deeper bonds with his team and friends. But peace in the ninja world never lasted long. Word arrived that Sasuke Uchiha, a genin from another team, had left the village to join Orochimaru. The Uchiha, driven by hatred for his brother who had killed their entire clan, sought power at any cost. A retrieval mission was formed. Shikamaru was put in charge, leading a team of genin including Naruto, Kiba, Choji, and Neji. Their mission? Bring Sasuke back before he reached Orochimaru's hideout. They pursued Sasuke across the land of fire, encountering Orochimaru's Sound Four, elite bodyguards who had been enhanced with curse seals. One by one, team members stayed behind to fight the Sound Four, buying time for the others to continue. Choji faced Jirobo, Neji fought Kidomaru, Kiba and Shikamaru handled Tayuya and Sakon. Finally, Naruto caught up to Sasuke at the Valley of the End, a landmark where massive statues of the first Hokage and Madara Uchiha faced each other. "Sasuke," Naruto called out, "come back to the village." The Uchiha turned, his Sharingan active, curse seal patterns spreading across his skin. "Why would I go back? Konoha is weak. Orochimaru will give me the power I need to kill Itachi." "Power gained through abandoning everything isn't strength, it's desperation." "You don't understand," Sasuke screamed. "My entire clan was murdered. I need power to avenge them." "I understand loss," Naruto said quietly. "My parents died the day I was born. I was hated and alone, but I didn't let it make me cruel. You're choosing hatred when you could choose something better." "I don't need your pity." Sasuke formed hand signs. "Chidori." Lightning chakra gathered in his hand, the assassination technique taught by his Jonin instructor. Sasuke rushed forward, intent on killing Naruto to prove his conviction. Naruto didn't move to dodge. His silver aura flared, and when the Chidori struck his chest, it dispersed harmlessly. "You can't hurt me, Sasuke. Your anger is just pain in disguise. Come home. If you won't fight seriously, then die." Sasuke activated his curse seal fully, dark patterns covering his body, wings sprouting from his back. "This power is what I need. This is what will let me kill Itachi." Naruto closed his eyes, taking a breath. "If you won't listen to words, then I'll show you the difference between your borrowed power and real strength." His silver aura exploded, and for the first time, Naruto released the full extent of his power without holding back. The ground cracked beneath his feet. The waterfall behind them reversed direction from the pressure. The air itself seemed to vibrate with divine energy. Sasuke's eyes widened in terror and awe. "What? What are you?" "Someone who chose a different path than you. Shadow clone jutsu." 100 Naruto clones appeared, each one radiating the same overwhelming power. They moved as one, a coordinated assault that Sasuke's Sharingan could barely track. Sasuke unleashed every technique he knew: fire-style jutsu, lightning attacks, curse seal enhancements. None of it mattered. The clones absorbed or dodged everything, and the original Naruto walked forward slowly, untouchable, divine Rasengan. The spiraling sphere of silver energy formed in Naruto's palm, larger and more powerful than ever before. Sasuke tried to counter with Chidori, the two techniques clashing in a massive explosion of energy, but there was no contest. The divine Rasengan overwhelmed the Chidori, and Sasuke was thrown backward, crashing into the statue of Madara. Naruto appeared beside him, hand extended. "It's over. Come home." Sasuke looked up at the silver-haired boy who had defeated him without breaking a sweat, and something in him broke. I'm not strong enough. Strength isn't just power, it's knowing when to accept help, when to protect others, when to let go of hatred. You can learn that, but only if you come back. Sasuke's hand trembled as he reached for Naruto's, but before he could grasp it, a portal of swirling darkness opened, and a figure stepped through, one of Orochimaru's subordinates, sent to retrieve the Uchiha. Lord Orochimaru's orders, the subordinate said, grabbing Sasuke. "The Uchiha comes with us." Naruto's hand shot out faster than sight, gripping the subordinate's wrist. "Release him." The subordinate's eyes widened at the crushing pressure. Leave! Now! Before I lose my patience." The portal closed, the subordinate fleeing with Sasuke's unconscious form. Naruto could have pursued, could have torn through the portal and dragged them back, but something stopped him. The knowledge that Sasuke had to want to return, had to choose it himself. "I'll bring you back," Naruto promised, watching the space where the portal had been. "When you're ready to come home, I'll be there." The retrieval mission ended in partial failure. The Sound Four were defeated, but Sasuke was gone. Shikamaru blamed himself for the loss, but Tsunade and Naruto both assured him that he'd done everything right. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, people made bad choices. Naruto reported to Tsunade's office, explaining everything that had happened. "You could have stopped him," Tsunade noted. "You're strong enough to have prevented the portal, to have knocked Sasuke unconscious and dragged him back." "Yes," Naruto admitted, "but that wouldn't have solved anything. He needs to want to return, to choose the village over revenge. Forcing him would just breed more resentment." "That's very mature of you. I've had a lot of time to think about choice and destiny. People need the freedom to choose, even when they choose wrong." Tsunade studied the boy who had saved her life, who had defeated legendary enemies, who spoke with wisdom beyond his years. "You're going to be Hokage someday, aren't you?" Naruto's silver eyes widened in surprise. "I hadn't thought about it." "Well, start thinking about it. Because when I retire, I can't think of anyone better suited for the role." Months passed. Peace returned, tentative but real. Naruto continued growing stronger, not training, but through understanding. He meditated with Kurama, learning about the tailed beast's history. He studied sealing techniques with Jiraiya. He helped rebuild the village and protected civilians from threats. He befriended Gaara through letters, the two Jinchuriki sharing their experiences and supporting each other's growth. He maintained his team bonds with Shikamaru and Hinata, going on missions and protecting each other. Hinata's feelings for Naruto grew deeper, and one evening, she finally found the courage to confess. "Naruto-kun," she said quietly, her face red but her voice steady. I've admired you for so long. Your strength, your kindness, the way you see the best in people. I love you." Naruto's silver eyes were gentle as he looked at her. "Hinata, you're one of the bravest people I know. Your feelings mean more to me than you realize." "Then, do you?" "I care about you deeply, but I'm not sure I understand love the way most people do. This power, whatever I am, it makes me different. I don't know if I can give you what you deserve." Hinata smiled, tears in her eyes, but not from sadness. "You already do. Your honesty, your kindness, that's enough. I don't need you to be anything other than who you are." They stood together under the stars, not quite a couple, but connected in a way that transcended simple romance. A bond of mutual respect, admiration, and genuine care. As Naruto approached his 13th birthday, the end of what would have been the timeline, he reflected on everything that had happened. He'd protected the village from invasion, he'd saved the Hokage from death, he'd changed Gaara from a murderer to a hopeful future leader. He'd shown Neji that fate could be defied. He'd given Hinata the confidence to stand up for herself. He'd defeated legendary enemies and protected countless innocents. But more than any of that, he'd remained true to himself. Kind, compassionate, unwilling to let his power make him cruel or arrogant. Jiraiya found him meditating on the Hokage monument one evening, the village spread out below, peaceful and alive. Thinking deep thoughts? The Sannin asked, sitting beside him. Just wondering what comes next, Naruto replied. There are still threats out there. The Akatsuki, Orochimaru, conflicts between villages. The world isn't at peace. No, it's not, but you've made it better than it was. That counts for something. I want to do more than make it better. I want to change it fundamentally. Create a world where people like Gaara and me don't have to grow up hated, where children don't become tools of war, where peace is real, not just the pause between conflicts. Jiraiya smiled, remembering a similar conversation with another student long ago. That's a big dream. I know, but someone has to dream it. You really are your father's son, and your mother's. They'd be proud of the person you've become. Naruto looked up at the stars, his silver eyes reflecting their light. Somewhere out there, Sasuke was walking a dark path. The Akatsuki was gathering strength. New threats were emerging. But Naruto wasn't afraid. He had friends who trusted him, a village worth protecting, and power to face any challenge. Most importantly, he had chosen his path, not the path of violence or revenge, but the path of protection and compassion. And that choice, more than any divine power, defined who he truly was. The future is uncertain, Naruto said quietly, but I'll face it the same way I faced everything else, with honesty, kindness, and the determination to protect what matters. That's all anyone can do, Jiraiya agreed. Make your choices and live with them. As the sun set over Konoha, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold, Naruto Uzumaki, the silver-haired boy with mastered ultra instinct, the Jinchuriki who had befriended his beast, the Genin who had defeated Sannin, stood ready for whatever came next. His journey was far from over. The Shippuden era would bring greater challenges, more powerful enemies, and impossible choices. But that was a story for another time. For now, Naruto had proven something fundamental. That power without compassion was worthless. That strength came from protecting others, and that even someone born with divine abilities could choose to remain fundamentally, beautifully human. The great Naruto Bridge stood in the land of waves, a testament to hope. Gaara led the Sand Village toward a better future. Hinata had found her courage. Neji had learned to defy fate, and Konoha had a protector unlike any it had ever known. The silver-haired boy with ancient eyes had changed the world simply by being kind. And that, more than any battle won or enemy defeated, was his greatest victory. 3 years had passed since that evening on the Hokage monument. The world had changed in ways both subtle and profound. The great Naruto Bridge still stood in the land of waves, a symbol of hope that had inspired similar projects across smaller nations. Gaara had become Kazakai at 15, the youngest in Sand Village history, leading his people toward prosperity. Konoha thrived under Tsunade's leadership, the village stronger than it had been in decades. But the shadows grew longer. The Akatsuki, once dismissed as a minor threat, had become impossible to ignore. They moved openly now, hunting Jinchuriki with ruthless efficiency. The Two Tails had been captured. The Four Tails had fallen. Villages scrambled to protect their remaining vessels, but against the organization's power, conventional defenses meant nothing. Naruto Uzumaki had spent those 3 years training beyond the world's sight. Jiraiya had taken him to remote locations, mountains where monks practiced ancient techniques, forests where chakra flowed like rivers, temples where reality itself bent. The silver-haired boy had grown into something more, his power refined to levels that transcended mortal comprehension. Now he stood at the gates of Konoha, no longer a boy but a warrior in his absolute prime. His silvery white hair had grown longer, flowing past his shoulders like moonlight given form. His body, once lean and boyish, had developed into defined muscle, not bulky but perfectly balanced, every fiber optimized for combat. The silver eyes remained unchanged, ancient and penetrating, but they carried deeper wisdom now, the weight of someone who understood what he was and what he could do. He wore a modified outfit, a sleeveless silver coat over dark combat pants, the Uzumaki spiral embroidered on the back in threads that seemed to glow faintly. His arms were bare, revealing the seal marks that bound Kurama, but also showing the divine chakra that pulsed beneath his skin like liquid starlight. The guards at the gate stopped, weapons lowering in recognition and awe. Naruto. Uzumaki? One whispered. I'm home, Naruto said quietly, his voice deeper but still gentle. Words spread through Konoha like wildfire. By the time Naruto reached the Hokage Tower, crowds had gathered, whispering, pointing, staring at the legend who had returned. Tsunade stood in her office, sake cup frozen halfway to her lips as Naruto entered. She looked older, the stress of leadership etched in lines around her eyes, but her strength remained undiminished. 3 years, she said, setting down the cup. Jiraiya's report said you were making progress, but this... Naruto's silver aura flickered, visible even in the afternoon light, and Tsunade felt the pressure of his presence. Not threatening, but undeniable, like standing before a force of nature. I'm ready, Naruto replied. The Akatsuki are moving. Gaara is in danger. I felt it this morning, their chakra signatures converging on the sand village. How could you possibly? My awareness has expanded. I can sense powerful chakra across vast distances now. 2 Akatsuki members are approaching Gaara. They plan to extract the One Tail. Tsunade stood, her Hokage's authority snapping into place. I'll assemble a team immediately. No need. I'll go alone. Naruto, even you can't. Yes, I can. His silver eyes met hers with absolute certainty. Send backup if you want, but I'll handle the Akatsuki. They've threatened someone I care about. That ends today. Before Tsunade could respond, Naruto's body vanished, silver light exploding outward as he moved at speeds that made teleportation look slow. The 5th Hokage stared at the space where he'd stood, then slowly sat down and poured another drink. That kid is going to give me a heart attack. The sand village was under siege. Deidara, riding his clay bird high above, rained explosives down on the village's defenses. His artistic terrorism had already destroyed several buildings, and more detonations bloomed across the desert settlement like deadly flowers. Art is a bang, he shouted, molding more clay. Come out, Jinchuriki! Face your fate! Gaara stood on the Kazekage's tower, sand swirling around him in defensive patterns. 3 years of leadership had changed him. He wore the Kazekage robes with dignity, his red hair cut shorter, his eyes no longer empty but filled with protective determination. I won't let you harm my village, Gaara said, sand forming into massive arms that swatted clay birds from the sky. Below, Sasori watched with cold calculation, his puppet body hidden beneath the Akatsuki cloak. Deidara, stop playing. We have a schedule. Art takes time, Sasori, my man. More explosions. The sand ninja scrambled to evacuate civilians to mount a defense, but against 2 Akatsuki members, their efforts felt futile. Then the air changed. Deidara felt it first, a presence that made his artistic instincts scream danger. He turned, scanning the sky, and saw nothing. What the? Naruto appeared on his clay bird, standing casually beside the shocked Akatsuki member. You should land, Naruto said quietly, silver eyes calm. This is your only warning. Deidara's mouth hands formed clay instinctively, but before the explosive could activate, Naruto's palm touched his chest. The impact was soft, gentle even, but Deidara flew backward off his own creation, crashing into the sand dunes a mile away with enough force to crater the ground. The clay bird, without Deidara's chakra, began falling. Naruto stepped off it, landing softly beside Gaara on the tower. Naruto, Gaara breathed, genuine relief flooding his features. You came? Always. Naruto's gaze shifted to Sasori, who had frozen below, puppet body rigid with calculation. Leave now, both of you. This doesn't have to end with your deaths. Sasori's mechanical voice carried up to them. The 9 Tails Jinchuriki. Intel said you were strong, but this is unexpected. You defeated Deidara with a single touch. I gave him mercy. You get the same offer once. Leave. Deidara erupted from the sand dune covered in dirt and fury. You little... Nobody touches my art like that. C3. He molded a massive amount of clay, creating a bird-shaped bomb the size of a building. The explosive chakra radiating from it made the air shimmer with heat. Naruto sighed softly. Wrong choice. His body vanished. Deidara's eyes widened, his Akatsuki training screaming alerts, but his body couldn't react. Naruto appeared behind him, hand extended. Ultra Instinct, Divine Palm Strike. Silver energy erupted from Naruto's palm, a focused wave of divine chakra that hit Deidara's spine. The Akatsuki member's body seized, his chakra network disrupted, and he collapsed, paralyzed but alive. The massive C3 bomb, without Deidara's chakra sustaining it, crumbled into inert clay. Sasori watched this, mechanical mind calculating odds, and reached the only logical conclusion. Retreat is the optimal strategy. He vanished in a swirl of sand and puppet techniques, abandoning Deidara without hesitation. Naruto could have pursued. His speed made catching Sasori trivial, but Deidara was down, Gaara was safe, and killing fleeing enemies felt unnecessary. Bind him, Naruto instructed the sand ninja who had gathered. He'll recover in a few hours. Extract whatever information you can, then send him to Konoha's interrogation division. Gaara stood beside his friend, sand settling around them. You've become even stronger. I had good teachers. How have you been? Better. Leading the village gives me purpose. The people no longer fear me. They trust me. Gaara's voice softened. It's because of what you showed me 3 years ago. That people can change. You changed yourself. I just reminded you it was possible. They stood together, two Jinchuriki who had chosen different paths than the ones prescribed for them. Around them, the sand village began recovering, grateful for their Kazekage and the silver-haired legend who had saved them. But in the shadows, Akatsuki watched and learned. The Akatsuki hideout was a cave system hidden in a remote mountain range, protected by barrier techniques and isolation. Inside, 9 figures stood on massive stone fingers, their bodies projected through a technique that allowed them to meet without physically gathering. Pain stood at the head, his Rinnegan eyes cold and calculating. Beside him, Konan's paper form rippled slightly. The other members, Itachi, Kasame, Kakuzu, Hidan, and others, watched with varying degrees of interest as Sasori made his report. The Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is beyond our current assessments, Sasori stated flatly. He neutralized Deidara with a single strike. His speed surpasses visual tracking. Engaging him directly would be inadvisable without overwhelming force. Overwhelming force? Hidan laughed. I'm immortal. Let me at him. Your immortality is irrelevant if you can't land a hit, Sasori countered. Pain's voice cut through the discussion. The Nine-Tails is our ultimate target. If the Jinchuriki is this powerful, we adjust our strategy. Itachi, your assessment? Itachi Uchiha, his Sharingan inactive but his presence commanding, spoke quietly. I've observed Naruto Uzumaki. His abilities defy conventional analysis. He moves before attacks land. His chakra signature is unlike anything I've encountered. Engaging him should be a last resort. Then we need leverage, Konan suggested. Something to draw him out on our terms. Pain nodded slowly. Continue gathering the other-tailed beasts. When we have sufficient power, we'll deal with the Nine-Tails. Until then, avoid direct confrontation. The meeting dispersed, but in the darkness plans formed. The Akatsuki were patient predators. They would bide their time, gather strength, and when the moment came, they would strike with overwhelming force. They just didn't realize that overwhelming force meant nothing to someone who had transcended mortal limits entirely. Konoha welcomed Naruto back with a celebration that surprised him. Civilians who had once feared him now treated him like a hero. Ninja who had dismissed him now showed respect. The silver-haired warrior moved through the festivities with quiet grace, accepting thanks but deflecting praise. It wasn't just me, he told everyone who asked. Gaara is strong. The Sand Village defended itself well. I just helped. Shikamaru found him on a rooftop overlooking the celebration. The tactical genius had grown as well, taller, more confident, bearing the weight of his position as Jonin with practiced ease. Still can't take a compliment, Shikamaru observed, sitting beside his former teammate. Compliments make me uncomfortable. I just did what needed doing. You crossed half the continent in minutes and defeated an Akatsuki member with one hit. That's beyond what needed doing. That's legendary. Naruto's silver eyes tracked the stars. The Akatsuki are stronger than people realize. Deidara was powerful, but he's not their strongest. Pain, their leader, has the Rinnegan. That's a threat I need to prepare for. You're already the strongest person alive. What more preparation do you need? Strength isn't enough. Strategy, awareness, understanding my enemies, all of that matters. Power without wisdom just makes you a dangerous fool. Shikamaru smiled. You've definitely changed. The Naruto I knew 3 years ago wouldn't have said something that wise. I've had time to think, to understand what this power means. Naruto's hand unconsciously touched his stomach where Kurama's seal rested. I'm responsible for how I use it. That responsibility is heavier than any technique. They sat in comfortable silence, watching Konoha celebrate below. The village had survived invasion, treachery, and war. It would survive what came next, because Naruto Uzumaki had chosen to protect it. 2 months passed in relative peace. Naruto took missions, A-rank and S-rank tasks that would normally require full teams. He completed them alone, his reputation growing with each impossible success. Bandits surrendered at the sight of his silver hair. Missing Nine fled rather than face him. Word spread across the ninja world. The silver-haired demon of Konoha was unstoppable. But Naruto remained humble, refusing promotions beyond special jonin, spending his free time training or helping rebuild village infrastructure. He visited the memorial stone often, paying respects to those who had died, protecting what he now defended. Hinata found him there one afternoon, her Byakugan deactivated, her confidence grown, but her gentle nature unchanged. "Naruto-kun," she said softly, "may I join you?" "Always." They stood before the stone together. Hinata had become a full jonin, her gentle fist refined to deadly precision. But in Naruto's presence, she still felt the warmth she'd carried for years. "I completed my mission to the Cloud Village," she reported. "The diplomatic talks went well. They asked about you." "What did you tell them?" "That you're kind, that you protect people, that they have nothing to fear if they don't threaten Konoha." She paused. They seemed relieved. Naruto's lips curved into a slight smile. "Good. Fear is useful, but I'd rather be known for protection than destruction. Do you ever regret it, being this strong?" "Every day. Power isolates you. People treat you differently. They see what you can do and forget who you are." His silver eyes met hers. "But you never did. You always saw me as a person first." Hinata's face reddened. "Because that's what you are. Your power is incredible, but it's your kindness that matters most." They stood together as the sun set, two warriors who understood each other in ways that transcended strength or status. Around them, Konoha prepared for the night, unaware that across the world, enemies gathered and plotted. The Akatsuki struck again 3 weeks later. This time, their target was the Three Tails, a beast without a human host, living wild in a lake. Pain sent Deidara, recovered from his defeat and burning for revenge, along with Tobi, a masked member whose cheerful demeanor hid dangerous capabilities. But Konoha's intelligence network, enhanced by Naruto's expanded awareness, detected the movement. Tsunade dispatched Team Guy and Team Kakashi to intercept, with Naruto as backup. By the time Naruto arrived at the lake, the battle was already underway. The Three Tails, a massive turtle-like beast, thrashed in the water, fighting against Deidara's clay constructs and Tobi's space-time techniques. Team Guy and Team Kakashi engaged from the shore, their jutsu keeping the Akatsuki members occupied. Naruto landed on the water's surface, silver eyes assessing the situation instantly. The Three Tails was powerful but unfocused, its attacks wild and desperate. Deidara circled above, preparing a massive explosive. Tobi's masked form flickered in and out of reality, his kamui making him intangible. "Naruto," Kakashi called, his Sharingan tracking movements. "Tobi's ability makes him untouchable. Every attack phases through him. I see it." Naruto's awareness extended, reading chakra flows, predicting patterns. Tobi's kamui had a weakness, a moment of vulnerability when he solidified to attack. "Keep him occupied." Naruto walked across the water toward the Three Tails. The beast roared, gathering chakra for a tailed beast bomb. The compressed energy crackled with destructive potential, aimed directly at Konoha's forces. "Stop," Naruto said quietly, his voice somehow carrying over the chaos. The Three Tails paused, its primitive consciousness recognizing something familiar in Naruto's chakra. The Nine Tails' presence, merged with divine energy, called to it like kin. "I'm like you," Naruto continued, walking closer. "I know what it's like to be hunted, to be feared, but you don't have to fight alone anymore." The tailed beast bomb dissipated. The Three Tails stared at Naruto with ancient eyes, and something passed between them. Understanding, recognition, kinship. Above, Deidara shrieked in fury. "No! My art demands an audience! C4! He released his ultimate technique, microscopic clay bombs that infiltrated the target's body and detonated from within. Invisible, unavoidable, instantly lethal. Naruto's silver aura flared and the microscopic bombs disintegrated before they could reach him, his divine chakra burning them from existence like mist in sunlight. "That's impossible!" Deidara screamed. Naruto appeared beside him in the sky, defying physics, his hand extended. You had your chance. This ends now. Ultra instinct, heaven's judgment. Divine energy erupted from Naruto's palm, a pillar of silver light that engulfed Deidara completely. The Akatsuki member's scream cut off as the technique shut down his chakra network, his consciousness, and his explosive abilities simultaneously. He fell toward the lake, unconscious before he hit the water. Toby materialized on the shore, his cheerful demeanor gone, replaced by cold calculation. Interesting. You're even stronger than reported. Leave. Now. Oh, I don't think so. You see, I have plans for you, Naruto Uzumaki. Big plans. Toby's single visible eye hole showed a Sharingan spinning. We'll meet again soon, very soon. He vanished into a space-time vortex, retrieving Deidara's body before disappearing completely. Naruto turned to the three tails, which watched him with wary respect. You're free. The Akatsuki won't take you while I'm here, short, but if you want protection, Konoha will offer it. No seal, no control, just safety. The three tails considered this, then slowly submerged, accepting the offer in its own way. The lake calmed, and the battle ended. Team Guy and Team Kakashi gathered around Naruto, expressions mixing awe and relief. That was incredible, Rock Lee said, his enthusiasm undimmed by years. Your power continues to inspire me. We all work together, Naruto replied. You kept them occupied. I just finished it. Kakashi's visible eyes studied his former academy student. Toby's ability is called Kamui. It's a space-time technique that makes him intangible, but he mentioned plans for you. That's concerning. I know. The Akatsuki aren't done. This was reconnaissance as much as capture attempt. Naruto's silver eyes scanned the horizon. They're learning about me, adapting. The real fight hasn't started yet. Then we'll be ready, Might Guy declared, giving a thumbs up. The power of youth will never surrender. They returned to Konoha, victory secured but tension building. The Akatsuki had been repelled twice, but their ultimate goal remained. The Nine Tails. Naruto. And in the shadows, Toby, Obito Uchiha, though none knew his true identity, smiled behind his mask. The silver-haired boy was powerful, yes, but everyone had weaknesses. Everyone could be manipulated. He just needed to find the right pressure point. The months that followed brought escalating confrontations. The Akatsuki captured the Six Tails, its Jinchuriki falling to a coordinated assault by multiple members. They claimed the Five Tails from the Stone Village, killing dozens of ninja in the process. Their power grew with each extraction, the Gedo statue absorbing the beast's chakra, feeding something ancient and terrible. Konoha reinforced its defenses. Tsunade established protocols for detecting Akatsuki movements. Ninja teams trained in anti-capture techniques. But everyone knew the truth. When the Akatsuki came for Naruto, conventional defenses would mean nothing. The silver-haired warrior continued his routine, seemingly unconcerned. He trained in remote areas, pushing his ultra instinct to new levels. He meditated with Kurama, their partnership deepening. He helped villagers, protected allies, and prepared for what was coming, because he could feel it building. The tension, the gathering storm, it would break soon. The attack came on a quiet afternoon in late autumn. Naruto was walking through Konoha's marketplace, buying supplies, when his awareness suddenly screamed danger. Not for himself, for the village. 6 chakra signatures, all Akatsuki level, had appeared at different points around Konoha's perimeter. Simultaneously, coordinated and converging fast, pain had made his move. Naruto's body vanished in silver light, appearing on the Hokage Tower beside Tsunade. Evacuate civilians to the shelters. 6 Akatsuki members are incoming. This is the assault we've been expecting. Tsunade's face hardened. Anbu, initiate emergency protocols. All civilians to shelters. All combat personnel to defensive positions. Alarms blared across Konoha. Ninjas scrambled to battle stations. Civilians ran for protected areas. The village that had survived so much prepared for another trial. Naruto stood on the tower's roof, silver eyes tracking the incoming threats. His awareness identified them. Pain's 6 paths. The Deva path, Ashura path, human path, animal path, Preta path, and Naraka path. Each body contained a Rinnegan, each wielded different abilities, and together they represented overwhelming force. But not for him. The 6 paths of pain landed at different points around Konoha, their identical faces showing no emotion, their Rinnegan eyes glowing with otherworldly power. The Deva path, Pain's primary body, stood at the main gate, his voice echoed across the village, amplified by chakra. Naruto Uzumaki, come forth. We will take the Nine Tails. Resistance will result in this village's complete destruction. Naruto appeared before him, silver hair flowing, eyes calm. You won't touch this village, or the Nine Tails. Leave now, and I'll spare your lives. Pain's expression didn't change. You cannot comprehend pain, cannot understand loss. We will teach you through destruction. I understand pain better than you think. I've lived with it every day, but pain doesn't justify cruelty. Your suffering doesn't give you the right to cause more. Words from someone who has never known true suffering. Very well, we will show you pain. The six paths attacked simultaneously. The Asura path fired missiles from its mechanical body, explosive projectiles that screamed toward Naruto with devastating force. The animal path summoned massive creatures, a multi-headed dog, a bird the size of a building, a rhinoceros that shook the ground with each step. Naruto's body moved, Ultra Instinct activating perfectly. Missiles curved past him, detonating harmlessly in the air. Summoned creatures lunged, only to bite empty space as Naruto flowed around their attacks like water. The human path tried to grab him, its ability to rip out souls requiring physical contact. Naruto's palm intercepted the grab, redirecting the path's momentum and sending it crashing through a building. The Prita path attempted to absorb Naruto's chakra, its palms glowing with chakra-draining energy. But when it touched Naruto's silver aura, it recoiled as if burned, the divine energy rejecting absorption. Shinra Tensei? The Deva Path's technique unleashed a repulsive force that could level cities. The shockwave exploded outward, destroying buildings, cratering streets, turning everything in its path to rubble. Naruto stood at the epicenter, silver aura blazing, completely unaffected. The repulsive force parted around him like water around a stone, his divine energy creating a barrier that physics couldn't breach. Impossible, the Deva Path said, genuine surprise flickering across its face. No one has ever withstood Shinra Tensei at full power. Your techniques are impressive, Naruto acknowledged, but they're still bound by physical laws. What I am exists beyond those limits. He moved then, truly moved, and the Six Paths Rinnegan couldn't track him. Naruto appeared beside the Asura path, his palm striking its core. Divine energy pulsed, and the mechanical augmentations exploded, the body collapsing. The animal path tried to summon more creatures, but Naruto was already there, his hand touching its chest. The path's connection to the summoning contract severed, its body shutting down instantly. The human path rushed him from behind. Naruto's body twisted and his heel connected with the path's head. The impact was controlled, precise, not enough to kill, but more than enough to destroy the chakra receivers that animated the body. 3 paths down in less than 10 seconds. The Prita path and Naraka path retreated, recognizing the futility. But the Deva path stood firm, Pain's primary consciousness focused through it. You are strong, Pain acknowledged, stronger than any opponent I faced. But you haven't experienced true pain yet. Chibaku Tensei! A black sphere formed above Konoha, rising into the sky. Gravity inverted, pulling everything upward. Buildings, streets, trees, people. The technique that had sealed gods began gathering mass, creating a moon-sized prison of earth and debris. Naruto felt the pull, felt tons of rock and earth compressing toward the sphere, felt the technique trying to seal him. Around him, Konoha ninja clung to whatever they could find. Civilians screamed in shelters as buildings shook. Ultra Instinct, Divine Severance. Silver energy exploded from Naruto, a wave of pure chakra that cut through the Chibaku Tensei's gravitational pull like a knife through silk. The black sphere shattered, the technique collapsing, debris falling harmlessly away from the village as Naruto's chakra guided it. Pain's eyes widened, the first real emotion his paths had shown. That technique should have been absolute. You shouldn't be able to. Naruto appeared before the Deva path, moving faster than thought. His hand rested on Pain's chest, silver energy pulsing. I don't want to kill you, Naruto said quietly. Tell me where your real body is. Let's talk. There's always another way. There is no other way. The world knows only pain. Only through pain can peace be achieved. That's not true. I've seen people change. I've seen enemies become friends. I've seen hope where there was despair. Your pain is real, but your conclusion is wrong. For a moment, genuine conflict flickered in the Deva Path's eyes. Then it hardened. You cannot understand. Not until you've lost everything. The remaining paths detonated. their bodies rigged with explosive seals as a final attack. The blast shook Konoha, smoke and fire erupting. When it cleared, Naruto stood unharmed, silver aura protecting him. But the 6 paths were gone, obliterated by their own technique. Around him, Konoha was damaged but intact. Casualties were minimal thanks to the evacuation. The village had survived, but Naruto felt no victory, only sadness, because he knew this wasn't over. In a remote tower outside the Hidden Rain village, Nagato gasped, blood running from his mouth. Controlling the 6 paths from such distance while fighting someone like Naruto had pushed him beyond his limits. His emaciated body, sustained by the Gedo statue's chakra, trembled with exhaustion. Konan appeared beside him, her paper form solidifying with concern. Nagato, you pushed too hard. The 9 Tails Jinchuriki was too strong. I know. Nagato's Rinnegan eyes focused on nothing, mind processing what he'd witnessed. He's unlike anything I've encountered. His power isn't just technique or chakra, it's something else entirely, something beyond even my eyes. Then we abandon the plan. The 9 Tails is impossible to capture. No, Nagato's voice hardened. We adjust. Toby was right. The boy has weaknesses, emotional ones. We'll exploit them. How? By making him experience true pain, by taking what he values. Then he'll understand. Then he'll break. Konan wanted to argue, wanted to tell Nagato that this path led only to more suffering. But she'd followed him this far. She would follow him to the end, even if that end was destruction. Konoha rebuilt quickly, the village experienced in recovering from attacks. Naruto helped with reconstruction, his strength allowing him to lift debris and materials that would require teams of ninja to move. He worked quietly, refusing special treatment, just another pair of hands helping restore what had been damaged. Tsunade called him to her office 3 days after the attack. She looked exhausted, the stress of leadership wearing on her, but her eyes remained sharp. The 5 Kage summit has been called, she announced. The Akatsuki's actions have forced the villages to respond. We're meeting to discuss a unified strategy. You want me to come. I want you to show them what we have, what you are. The other Kages need to understand that Konoha has protection they can't match. She paused. And I want them to understand that you're not a threat to them. You're a shield, not a sword. Naruto considered this. Political gatherings made him uncomfortable, but if his presence could prevent war or foster cooperation, it was worth enduring. I'll come, but I don't represent Konoha's strength. I represent what we're protecting. That's exactly why you need to be there. They departed for the Land of Iron 2 days later. Tsunade, Naruto, and a small guard detail. The journey took 3 days, traveling through snow-covered mountains to the neutral territory where the summit would be held. The Iron Country was beautiful in winter, pristine snow covering everything. Samurai guards maintaining order with disciplined efficiency. The summit building was a fortress of stone and steel, designed to withstand siege and attack. Inside, the other Kages had already gathered. The 4th Raikage of the Cloud Village stood like a mountain of muscle, his lightning-enhanced physique radiating power. A, as he was known, had a reputation for overwhelming force and direct action. The 3rd Tsuchikage of the Stone Village floated above his seat, his small stature belying his mastery of dust techniques that could disintegrate matter. Onoki was ancient but formidable. The 4th Mizukage of the Mist Village sat with perfect composure, her beauty hiding a ruthless tactical mind. Mei Terumi had led her village through bloody civil war and emerged victorious. And Gaara, the 5th Kazekage, sat with calm authority, his sand swirling subtly around him. When Naruto entered with Tsunade, Gaara's eyes met his friends with recognition and respect. The summit began with formal introductions and pleasantries, but A cut through it with characteristic bluntness. Enough dancing around the issue. The Akatsuki has captured 6 of the 9-tailed beasts. They've attacked our villages, killed our ninja, and we've been unable to stop them. The Hidden Leaf claims to have protection. I want to see it. Tsunade gestured to Naruto. This is Naruto Uzumaki, special jonin, 9 Tails Jinchuriki, and the strongest ninja alive. The claim hung in the air like a challenge. Onoki laughed, a wheezing sound. Bold statement. I've lived through 4 shinobi world wars, girl. I've seen the strongest. This boy doesn't compare. Test him, Tsunade said calmly, if you dare. A stood, lightning chakra crackling around his body. Go, I'll take that challenge. Boy, show me this supposed strength. They moved to a training area outside, the summit delegates following to observe. Snow fell gently as A and Naruto faced each other, the Raikage's body emanating killing intent that would paralyze most ninja. Naruto stood relaxed, silver eyes calm. I don't want to hurt you. Cocky brat. A exploded forward, his lightning release chakra mode activating fully, turning him into a thunderbolt in human form. His speed was incredible, Kage-level taijutsu refined over decades. His fist aimed at Naruto's head with enough force to shatter mountains. His fist hit nothing. Naruto had moved, but not away. He simply wasn't where A's attack landed, as if he'd ceased to exist in that exact space for that exact moment. A spun, launching a combination, punches, kicks, elbow strikes, all enhanced by lightning chakra, all executed with perfect technique. Each strike would kill most opponents instantly, none of them connected. Naruto's body flowed around the attacks like smoke, his ultra instinct responding before A's muscles even contracted. The Raikage's eyes widened in disbelief, his lightning-enhanced perception unable to predict Naruto's movements. Lariat! A's ultimate technique, his arm extended like a spear, lightning compressed to cutting sharpness. The attack that had decapitated opponents, that had broken through any defense. Naruto caught A's arm mid-strike, his hand gentle but unmovable. The Raikage's momentum stopped completely, physics bending around Naruto's divine energy. You're very fast, Naruto observed, and strong, but speed and strength aren't enough. He released A's arm and stepped back. I respect your power, Raikage-sama, but fighting you seriously would be dangerous for everyone here. Please accept my demonstration. A stared at the silver-haired boy who had just negated his ultimate technique with a casual catch. Slowly, the lightning chakra faded, and the Raikage's expression shifted from aggression to grudging respect. You're a monster, I said, but there was no hostility in it. The hidden leaf wasn't exaggerating. The other Kages watched with varying reactions. Onoki's eyes showed calculation. Mei's lips curved into an interested smile. Gaara simply nodded. Having seen Naruto's power before, they returned to the summit chamber, and the tone had shifted. No longer were they equals debating strategy. Now they were allies recognizing a powerful asset. The Akatsuki's goal is clear, Tsunade stated. They want all nine-tailed beasts. With Naruto's protection, the nine tails is safe, but the remaining beasts, the 7 and 8 tails, are vulnerable. We need to coordinate protection. The 8 tails is my brother, I growled. He's strong enough to defend himself. Against individual Akatsuki members, perhaps, Onoki said thoughtfully. But if they attack with multiple members, overwhelming force, then we station protection, Mei suggested. Naruto's abilities are unique, but we have powerful ninja, coordinated defenses, intelligence sharing, rapid response teams. The summit continued for hours, strategies forming, alliances strengthening. Naruto sat quietly, listening, only speaking when directly addressed. Politics bored him, but he understood their necessity. As the session ended, Gaara approached him in a private corridor. You've grown even stronger, the Kazekage observed. The One Tail still speaks of you sometimes, says you carry a power older than the Sage of Six Paths. Kurama says similar things. Whatever this is, it existed before the tailed beasts. Naruto's silver eyes showed ancient wariness. Sometimes I wonder if being this strong is a blessing or a curse. It's both, but you use it well. That's what matters. They stood together, two young men bearing impossible burdens, understanding each other in ways no one else could. Outside, the snow continued falling, and across the world, the Akatsuki prepared their final moves. The attack on the hidden cloud village came 2 weeks later. Sasuke Uchiha, now enhanced by Orochimaru's training and wielding the Mangekyo Sharingan, led a team called Taka into the cloud's territory. Their mission, capture Killer B, the Eight Tails Jinchuriki, but B was no ordinary target. The Eight Tails wielder was powerful, skilled, and experienced. His Biju transformation was fully mastered, his combat abilities Kage level. When Sasuke's team attacked, B fought back with devastating force. The battle shook the cloud village, B's full transformation creating chaos. Sasuke's Amaterasu black flames met the Eight Tails' power, and the collision of techniques threatened to destroy the entire area. Then Naruto arrived. He'd sensed the Eight Tails' chakra spiking, felt the familiar signature of Sasuke's Sharingan, and crossed half the continent in minutes to intervene. He appeared between Sasuke and B, silver aura creating a barrier that stopped both attacks cold. Naruto, Sasuke breathed, his Mangekyo Sharingan spinning in shock. Sasuke, it's been a long time. The Uchiha looked different, older, harder, his eyes carrying the weight of his choices. The curse mark Orochimaru had given him was gone, purged, but his chakra felt darker, colder. Move aside, Sasuke commanded. This doesn't concern you. You're attacking a Jinchuriki. It concerns me absolutely. Naruto's silver eyes met Sasuke's Sharingan without fear. Walk away now, before this ends badly. I have a mission. I won't fail. Then you'll fail against me. Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan activated fully, black flames erupting. Amaterasu, the inextinguishable flames that burned everything, that could incinerate even chakra itself, surged toward Naruto. The silver-haired warrior raised his hand, and divine energy condensed around it. The Amaterasu hit his palm and stopped, the black flames unable to burn through divine chakra, flickering and dying against power that transcended normal physics. Impossible, Sasuke whispered. Nothing can stop Amaterasu. I can. Naruto walked forward, the flames parting around him. You've gotten stronger, Sasuke, but you chose the wrong path. Power gained through hatred and revenge is hollow. You know nothing about my path. Sasuke formed hand signs, lightning crackling around his hand. Chidori! He rushed forward, the assassination technique that had served him for years. Naruto's body shifted, and Sasuke's lightning-enhanced hand passed through empty air. A counterstrike. Naruto's palm tapped Sasuke's shoulder, and the Uchiha flew backward, crashing through buildings before skidding to a halt. Sasuke stood, blood running from his mouth, shock evident in his eyes. That power! What are you? Someone who chose differently than you. Someone who protects instead of destroys. Naruto's voice carried no anger, only sadness. You can still change. Come back to Konoha, find a better way. Never. Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan spun faster, reality warping around him. Susanoo! The skeletal warrior formed around Sasuke, purple chakra construct building into a massive figure. The incomplete Susanoo was still formidable, its power enough to challenge most opponents. Naruto sighed softly. You're forcing this. He moved and the world bent. Naruto appeared inside the Susanoo, bypassing its defenses completely. His hand touched Sasuke's chest, silver energy pulsing. The Susanoo shattered like glass. Sasuke's chakra network seized, his Mangekyo deactivating, his body collapsing from the disruption. Ultra Instinct, Mercy Strike, Naruto said quietly. You'll recover in a few hours. Use that time to think about your choices. B, having watched the entire encounter, whistled appreciatively. Yo, that's some crazy power, bro. You just styled on the Uchiha like he was nothing, yo. He's not nothing. He's lost. Naruto looked at Sasuke's unconscious form. But maybe someday he'll find his way back. The Cloud Ninja arrived, securing Sasuke and his team. A appeared, his earlier hostility toward Naruto replaced with respect. You saved my brother, A acknowledged, and stopped an Uchiha with one strike. The Hidden Leaf is fortunate to have you. I just did what needed doing. Naruto's silver eyes tracked the horizon. But Sasuke's appearance here isn't random. Someone sent him. Someone is moving pieces on a larger board. The Akatsuki? Or someone connected to them. The pattern is becoming clear. They want chaos, conflict, distraction. While we focus on Sasuke, they're preparing something else, I nodded grimly. Then we stay alert, and we work together. Naruto returned to Konoha that evening, his intervention preventing what could have been a catastrophic battle. But the encounter with Sasuke weighed on him. His former academy classmate had chosen a dark path, and despite Naruto's power, he couldn't force someone to change. Free will meant allowing people to make wrong choices, even when those choices led to destruction. The Akatsuki's final gathering occurred in a hidden dimension, a space created by Obito's Kamui where physical laws bent to his will. All remaining members stood present. Pain Konan, Obito, Itachi, Kasame, Kakuzu, Hidan, and Zetsu. Their numbers had thinned, but their resolve remained absolute. The Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is the final obstacle, Obito stated, his single visible Sharingan spinning. We've captured 7 of the 9 beasts. Only the 8 and 9 tails remain, but Naruto Uzumaki's power makes direct confrontation impossible. Then we use strategy, Itachi said quietly. Find his emotional weaknesses, force him into impossible choices. Agreed. Obito's voice carried dark amusement. I've prepared a scenario. We'll attack Konoha with overwhelming force. Not to destroy it, but to force Naruto to choose. Protect the village or pursue us. Save the many or chase the few. What's the real objective? Pain asked, his Rinnegan focused. The Moon's Eye plan requires all 9-tailed beasts. We need the 9 tails extracted from Naruto Uzumaki. If we can't kill him or defeat him, we'll trap him. The infinite Tsukuyomi preparation requires specific conditions. We'll create those conditions during the chaos. Konan spoke for the first time. This plan risks everything. If it fails, it won't fail. I've prepared for decades. Every contingency, every possibility. Naruto Uzumaki is powerful, yes, but he's still human. Humans can be manipulated. The meeting concluded, the Akatsuki dispersing to their assignments. But in the shadows, Zetsu smiled. Neither Obito nor Pain knew the true depth of the plan. Neither understood that they were pawns in a larger game. A game that stretched back 1,000 years. To a woman sealed in the moon, waiting for resurrection. The attack came on the anniversary of Konoha's founding. The village was celebrating. Civilians enjoying festivals. Ninja relaxing for the first time in months. Peace had held. Threats had been repelled. And hope filled the air. Then the sky tore open. Massive summons appeared throughout Konoha, the Gedo statue, its grotesque form towering over buildings, 9 eyes opening as it absorbed ambient chakra. Around it, Obito's dimension portals opened, releasing an army of white Zetsu clones, plant-like soldiers that swarmed through streets. Pain's 6 paths reformed, reconstructed, and enhanced, attacking from multiple directions. Kasame appeared at the lake, transforming the water into his element. Kakuzu's threads captured buildings, using them as weapons. The Akatsuki had brought everything they had. Konoha's defense activated instantly. Anbu engaged the white Zetsu. Jonin teams fought the 6 paths. Tsunade coordinated from the Hokage Tower, her massive chakra reserves allowing her to fight while directing. But it was clear within minutes, this was different from before. The Akatsuki weren't trying to capture the 9 tails, they were trying to destroy everything. Naruto stood in the center of Konoha, silver eyes processing the chaos. His awareness stretched across the entire village, tracking every threat, every civilian, every ally. Obito appeared before him, space distorting. Naruto Uzumaki, you can stop this. Surrender the 9 tails and we'll leave. Refuse and Konoha burns. You're lying. You'll attack regardless of what I choose. True, but you can't be everywhere at once. You can't fight me, but then who saves the civilians being slaughtered? Who stops the Gedo statue from draining the village's chakra? Who prevents Pain from using Shinra Tensei on the residential district? Naruto's silver eyes hardened. I'll save everyone, and then I'll end you. We'll see. Naruto's body exploded into motion. He appeared at the residential district first, where Pain's Deva path was gathering chakra for a massive Shinra Tensei. Naruto's hand struck the path's chest before the technique could activate, divine energy disrupting the chakra flow. He moved to the lake, where Kasame's water dome technique had trapped a team of Konoha ninja. Naruto's palm created a shockwave that dispersed the entire lake, freeing the trapped fighters. He appeared at the Gedo statue, which was draining chakra from buildings and people. Naruto's fist, enhanced with divine energy, struck the statue's base. Ultra Instinct, Titan Breaker. The impact created a shockwave visible from miles away. The Gedo statue cracked, its absorption technique failing, its massive form stumbling backward. White Zetsu clones swarmed him. Naruto's silver aura expanded, and the clones disintegrated on contact, unable to withstand divine chakra. He was everywhere and nowhere, moving through the battlefield like a force of nature, each intervention precise and devastating. The 6 paths fell one by one, their bodies destroyed faster than they could regenerate. Kakuzu's threads were severed, his heart's crushed. Kasame fled into the water, recognizing futility. But Obito watched it all, his single eye calculating. Now, he whispered, reality twisted. The space around Naruto warped, Obito's Kamui activating at full power. Not to make himself intangible, but to create a pocket dimension, a trap specifically designed for this moment. Naruto felt the technique activating, felt reality trying to swallow him. His ultra instinct screamed warning, his body moving to dodge, but the trap wasn't for his body. It was for his chakra. The Kamui dimension pulled at the 9-tailed chakra inside Naruto, trying to separate beast from host, trying to extract Kurama without killing Naruto. Inside his mind, Naruto felt Kurama roaring in defiance. Kit, don't let him. I won't. Naruto's silver aura exploded outward, divine energy flooding the seal, merging completely with Kurama's chakra. The Nine Tails' power and Naruto's divine energy became one, inseparable, unified. The Kamui technique hit this merged chakra and recoiled, unable to separate what had become fundamentally joined. Obito's eye widened in shock. That's impossible. The extraction technique is absolute. Naruto appeared before him, moving through the Kamui dimension itself, his divine energy allowing him to exist in spaces that shouldn't permit existence. You can't separate us, Naruto said, his voice carrying both his own tone and Kurama's deeper rumble. We're partners, two beings who chose unity. Your technique can't break that. He struck Obito's mask, and it shattered. The man beneath, scarred, one-eyed, carrying decades of pain, stumbled backward. Obito Uchiha, Naruto identified, Kakashi's former teammate, the boy who supposedly died in the Third Shinobi World War. I did die that day. What stands before you is something else. Obito's remaining Sharingan spun. I've seen the truth of this world. Endless suffering, endless war. The infinite Tsukuyomi will end it, trap everyone in perfect dreams where they can be happy. False happiness isn't peace, it's escape. Naruto's silver eyes met Obito's Sharingan without fear. The real world has suffering, yes, but it also has genuine joy, real connections, true growth. You want to steal that from everyone because you couldn't handle your own pain. You don't understand? I understand perfectly. You lost someone you loved. It broke you. But instead of healing, instead of honoring her memory by living well, you chose to destroy the world she died protecting. Naruto's voice softened. Rin wouldn't want this. You know she wouldn't. Obito's chakra spiked, emotion breaking through decades of control. Don't speak her name. You don't know what it's like to lose everything. You're right. I don't know what it's like to lose someone I love that way, but I know what it's like to be alone, to be hated, to suffer. Naruto stepped forward, and I chose to protect people anyway, not because it's easy, but because it's right. Obito's remaining Sharingan spun faster, the Mangekyo pattern becoming erratic. Then I'll show you loss. I'll show you suffering. He activated his ultimate technique, multiple Kamui portals opening simultaneously, trying to tear Naruto apart by pulling parts of him into different dimensions. Naruto's silver aura blazed, and he stood firm as reality warped around him. His divine energy anchored him to this dimension, refusing displacement. Ultra instinct, dimensional anchor. The Kamui portals collapsed, unable to affect someone whose existence transcended normal spatial rules. Obito staggered, chakra depleting rapidly from the failed technique. How? No one should be able to resist Kamui's absolute. Naruto's palm touched Obito's chest, and divine energy flooded through him. Not destroying, not killing, healing. The years of hatred, the accumulated darkness, the corrupted chakra, all of it burned away in silver light. Obito's body convulsed, his remaining Sharingan deactivating, and when the light faded, he collapsed. But he was alive, breathing. The hatred that had consumed him for decades was gone, leaving only a broken man who had lost his way. You can choose differently, Naruto said softly, looking down at the unconscious Uchiha. Starting now, when you wake up, you can decide who you want to be. Around them, the battle had ended. The Akatsuki's assault had been repelled, their members scattered or captured. The Gedo statue, damaged by Naruto's attack, had been sealed by Konoha's sealing teams. The White Zetsu army was being mopped up. Konoha had survived. But Naruto felt no triumph, only wariness, because he knew this wasn't the end. The Akatsuki had been pawns. Someone else pulled the strings, someone older, darker, more dangerous. The revelation came 3 days later. Black Zetsu, the plant-like being that had observed everything, revealed itself in the Hokage's chamber. Not to attack, but to talk. Impressive display, it said, its voice carrying ancient amusement. You've defeated the Akatsuki, saved your village, even redeemed Obito Uchiha, but you don't understand what you're facing. Tsunade, Kakashi, and several Anbu surrounded the creature, but Naruto raised his hand, stopping them. You're different from the other Zetsu, Naruto observed. Older. Your chakra signature is strange, almost like it doesn't belong to this era. Perceptive. I am Black Zetsu, the will of Kaguya Otsutsuki. I've existed for 1,000 years, manipulating history, guiding events, all to resurrect my mother. Kaguya, the rabbit goddess, the origin of chakra. You know the legends. Good. Then you understand what's coming. The infinite Tsukuyomi was never Obito's plan. It was mine, a technique to gather chakra to prepare for her return. And despite your interference, the pieces are in place. Naruto's silver eyes narrowed. Where is she sealed? The moon. Hagoromo, the sage of six paths, imprisoned her there after she became corrupted by the god tree's chakra. But seals weaken, time erodes, and with enough chakra, enough power, she can be freed. Then I'll stop her. Black Zetsu laughed, a sound like grinding stone. You? A mortal? Even with your divine power, you cannot comprehend what she is. Kaguya existed before the sage, before the tailed beast, before chakra was divided among humanity. She is the origin, the absolute. I've heard that about the Akatsuki, about pain, about Obito. They were all supposed to be unstoppable. Naruto's voice remained calm. I'll face her the same way I faced them, with everything I have. Then prepare yourself, because the resurrection is inevitable. The chakra gathered from the tailed beasts, combined with the approaching celestial alignment, will break her seal within the month. Black Zetsu sank into the floor, disappearing before anyone could react. Its final words echoed in the chamber. The fourth great ninja war begins soon, and at its end, the rabbit goddess returns. Silence filled the Hokage's office. Then Tsunade spoke, her voice hard with determination. Send word to the 5 Kages, emergency summit. If what that thing said is true, we need to prepare for a threat beyond anything we faced. The messengers departed, and Naruto stood alone on the tower's roof, silver eyes scanning the night sky. The moon hung full and bright, beautiful and terrible, hiding a goddess who had once ruled the world. Kurama, Naruto said internally. Do you know about Kaguya? The Nine-Tails Ka's voice rumbled through their shared consciousness. Legends, stories the old man told us when we were young. She was the first wielder of chakra, the mother of all things, but power corrupted her, made her see humans as inferior. The sage and his brother sealed her, divided her power into the 9 of us. Can I beat her? I don't know, Kit. Your power is strange, older than chakra itself maybe. But Kaguya. The fox's voice carried uncertainty. She's beyond anything that exists now. If she returns at full power, even you might not be enough. Then I'll get stronger. Find a way. There's always a way. That's my Jinchuriki, stubborn until the end. Naruto smiled slightly, then sobered. The war was coming. Not a conflict between villages, but a battle for the world's survival, and he would stand at its center. The 5 Kages summit reconvened in emergency session. This time, the atmosphere was different. Less politics, more survival instinct. Tsunade presented everything they knew. Black Zetsu's revelation, Kaguya's history, the approaching resurrection. The other Kages listened with varying reactions. A goddess from 1,000 years ago, Onoki said skeptically. This sounds like legend, not reality. I've seen the legends become real, I countered. The tailed beasts were thought to be myths once. If this Kaguya is their creator, we can't dismiss the threat. The question is strategy, Mei interjected. How do we fight something that predates chakra itself? All eyes turned to Naruto, who stood beside Tsunade. I'll fight her, Naruto said simply. But I can't do it alone. If she's as powerful as the legends suggest, I'll need support. Distractions. Time to land decisive strikes. You're asking the villages to unite, Gaara observed. A true alliance, not just temporary cooperation. Yes, this threat is beyond any single village. We either stand together or fall separately. A slammed his fist on the table. The Cloud Village commits. We'll fight. The stone as well, Onoki added, his ancient eyes showing determination. I've lived too long to let a goddess destroy what we've built. The mist stands with you, Mei declared. The sand has always stood with Naruto, Gaara said, meeting his friend's eyes. Tsunade smiled grimly. Then it's decided. The allied shinobi forces are formed. We prepare for war. The next week saw unprecedented cooperation. Ninja from all 5 major villages trained together, shared techniques, coordinated strategies. The old grudges, the historical conflicts, all set aside in the face of extinction. Naruto trained harder than ever, pushing his ultra instinct to new heights. Jiraiya returned from his intelligence gathering, bringing sage techniques that Naruto mastered in days. Kakashi taught him advanced chakra control. Tsunade shared her medical knowledge, allowing Naruto to combine healing with combat. But most importantly, Naruto meditated with Kurama, deepening their bond until the distinction between them blurred. 2 beings becoming one, their powers merging into something unprecedented. The day of the celestial alignment arrived. The moon turned red, blood-colored light washing over the world. In villages across the continent, people looked up in fear as reality itself seemed to hold its breath. Then the moon cracked. Not physically, but spiritually. The seal Hagoromo had placed 1,000 years ago shattered. Chakra erupted from the lunar surface, a pillar of energy visible across the planet, and from that pillar, she descended. Kaguya Otsutsuki. She was beautiful and terrible, her pale skin perfect, her long white hair flowing like silk. 2 horns protruded from her head and her eyes, Byakugan in one socket, Rin Sharingan on her forehead, radiated power that made reality bend around her. She landed in an open field outside Konoha, her presence creating a crater from pure energy. Around her, the landscape warped, trees aged and died, grass turned to ash, the air itself became thick with her overwhelming chakra. The allied shinobi forces had gathered, over 80,000 ninjas standing ready. But when they felt her power, many faltered. This wasn't an enemy they could fight with numbers or technique, this was a god. Kaguya's 3 eyes scanned the assembled forces, showing no emotion. Humans, you've multiplied since my imprisonment. Used the chakra I gave this world for war and conflict. Disappointing. Her hand raised, and reality tore open. A dimension of lava appeared, attempting to swallow the entire army. Naruto's silver aura exploded outward, creating a barrier that stopped the dimensional shift. Everyone, fall back. This fight is beyond you. The allied forces retreated, recognizing truth in his words. Only the strongest remained, the 5 Kages, elite Jonin, and Naruto at the center. Kaguya's eyes focused on Naruto, and for the first time, genuine curiosity showed. You are different. Your chakra isn't derived from mine. What are you? Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm here to stop you. Stop me? Kaguya's voice carried ancient amusement. Child, I created chakra. I shaped this world. You cannot stop what you cannot comprehend. She moved, and the world bent. Kaguya appeared before Naruto, her palm extended. 80 Gods vacuum attack. A technique that created invisible fists of pure chakra, unavoidable and absolute. Naruto's ultra instinct activated perfectly. His body shifted, and the invisible fists passed through empty space. He countered, his palm striking toward Kaguya's chest with divine energy condensed to cutting sharpness. Kaguya's hand caught his wrist, and for the first time in his life, Naruto felt his attack stop cold. Impressive reflexes, Kaguya acknowledged, but insufficient. She pulled Naruto into a portal, dimensional travel instantaneous. They appeared in a gravity dimension where crushing force multiplied everything's weight 1,000-fold. Normal humans would be flattened instantly. Kaji-level ninja would struggle to stand. But Naruto's divine energy anchored him, allowing him to move normally despite the pressure. You adapt quickly, Kaguya observed, but adaptation won't save you. She created ash bones, weapons of pure death. Anything they touched would disintegrate at the molecular level. They flew toward Naruto from all angles, dozens of unavoidable projectiles. Naruto's body flowed through them, ultra instinct guiding him between the deadly attacks. Not a single bone touched him, and he closed the distance to Kaguya, his fist glowing with silver energy. Ultra instinct, divine impact. The punch connected, divine chakra erupting on contact. The impact created a shockwave that shattered the gravity dimension's landscape, mountains crumbling from the force. Kaguya flew backward, actually pushed back by Naruto's attack. When she stopped, blood ran from her lip, the first injury she'd taken in 1,000 years. You hurt me. Kaguya's voice carried genuine surprise. Impossible. I am beyond harm. Nothing's impossible, just unlikely. Naruto's silver eyes blazed with determination. You're powerful, but you're not invincible. No one is. Kaguya's 3 eyes narrowed and her chakra spiked to levels that made reality scream. The dimension around them began collapsing, unable to contain her full power. Then I'll show you true power, the power that created this world. She opened another portal, dragging them both into a dimension of ice, a frozen wasteland where temperature meant death. Naruto's divine energy protected him from the cold, but he felt the environmental pressure. Kaguya created massive ice constructs, jagged formations that impaled from every direction. Naruto dodged, his body weaving through the attacks, but Kaguya was learning his patterns, adapting her strategy. You're fast but predictable, Kaguya said. Your power moves you automatically, but it follows logic. I can predict logic. Her next attack came from an angle Naruto hadn't anticipated, not at him, but at the space he would dodge into. The ice spear pierced through his shoulder, actually landing a hit. Pain flared, and Naruto's silver aura burned brighter, disintegrating the ice. He healed instantly, divine energy knitting flesh and bone, but the message was clear. She could hit him. She was learning. Kurama, Naruto called internally. Full partnership. No holding back. About time, kid. Let's show this goddess what we're made of. Silver and red chakra exploded around Naruto, merging into a form that transcended both. 9 tails of silver-red energy formed behind him, each one pulsing with power that made Kaguya's eyes widen slightly. The 9 tails and divine energy merged completely, Kaguya observed. You've created something new. Interesting. Naruto's appearance had changed. His silver hair now had streaks of red. His eyes glowed with merged power, silver and fox-lit simultaneously. His body radiated energy that bent the ice dimension around him. This is my full power, Naruto stated, his voice carrying both his own tone and Kurama's rumble. Divine Ultra Instinct, Tailed Beast Union mode. He moved, and the speed transcended anything he'd shown before. Kaguya's 3 eyes tracked him, but her body couldn't react fast enough. Naruto's fist connected with her stomach, the impact creating a crater in the ice dimension. Kaguya coughed blood, genuine pain showing on her ancient face. Impossible. I am Kaguya Otsutsuki, the rabbit goddess, the mother of. Naruto appeared behind her, his kick sending her flying through ice mountains. You're powerful, but you're not a god, just someone who forgot how to be human. He pursued her, his merged power allowing him to move through dimensions as easily as she could. They crashed through the ice dimension into a desert dimension, then into a lava dimension, each environment becoming a battlefield. In the lava dimension, Kaguya created the infinite Tsukuyomi Genjutsu, attempting to trap Naruto in illusion. But divine energy couldn't be controlled by chakra-based techniques, and the Genjutsu shattered on contact with his aura. Your techniques are impressive, Naruto acknowledged, landing on a lava platform. But they're all based on chakra you created. My power predates your chakra. It exists outside your system. Kaguya's 3 eyes showed something new. Frustration. What are you? You're not from this world. Your power is alien. Wrong. I don't know what I am, but I know what I choose to be. Someone who protects people. Someone who stops threats. Someone who won't let you destroy the world these people have built. Kaguya's chakra spiked again, and this time, the dimensions themselves began merging. Ice, lava, gravity, desert, all collapsing into one chaotic space. If I cannot defeat you with technique, I'll defeat you with overwhelming power. She gathered every ounce of chakra she possessed, the accumulated energy of 1,000 years of imprisonment. All killing ash bones, maximum density. Hundreds of the death touch bones erupted from her body, filling the entire merged dimension. No space to dodge, no path to avoid. Absolute coverage. Naruto's merged form blazed silver red, and he roared, a sound that combined human voice and fox power. Ultra Instinct, Divine Rasengan, Planetary Devastation. The technique he created was unprecedented. A Rasengan formed from divine energy and 9 tails chakra, compressed to the size of a marble, but containing power that could level continents. He threw it at the center of Kaguya's attack. The 2 techniques collided. Reality broke. The merged dimension shattered, unable to contain the collision of absolute powers. Both Naruto and Kaguya were thrown back into the real world, appearing above the battlefield, where the allied forces watched in awe and terror. The explosion from their clash created a mushroom cloud visible from 100 miles away. The shockwave flattened forests, evaporated lakes, reshaped the landscape. When the dust cleared, both combatants floated in the sky, battered but standing. Kaguya's perfect appearance was marred, her robes torn, her skin burned in places, blood running from multiple wounds. She'd never been pushed this far, never been challenged like this. Naruto's merged form was damaged too, his chakra cloak flickering, his breathing heavy, his body pushed beyond normal limits. But his silver eyes remained determined, unwavering. You're stronger than I expected, Kaguya admitted. But this ends now. I'll absorb you, take your divine power, add it to my own. She opened her 3rd eye fully, the Rinne Sharingan spinning. Infinite Tsukuyomi, absolute binding. The moon above turned red, casting the world in crimson light. Every person, every ninja, every civilian, all caught in the genjutsu, their minds trapped in perfect dreams, except Naruto. His divine energy, immune to chakra-based control, protected him. Around him, the allied forces collapsed, trapped in illusion. The Kages fell. Even Kurama's influence wasn't enough to protect others from Kaguya's ultimate technique. Naruto was alone. "Now you see," Kaguya said, descending toward him. "I've won. Everyone you sought to protect is mine. Surrender, and I'll give them pleasant dreams. Resist, and I'll make their illusions nightmares." Naruto looked at the fallen forces, at Tsunade's unconscious form, at Kakashi trapped in dreams, at Gaara's sealed mind. Everyone he'd fought to protect, all helpless. "You're right," Naruto said quietly. "You've trapped everyone, made them helpless." Kaguya landed before him, confident in her victory. Then, "But you made a mistake." Naruto's silver-red aura exploded outward, expanding beyond his body, beyond the battlefield, across the entire continent. Divine energy flooded through the Insukumi, not breaking it, but changing it. The illusions shifted. Instead of trapping people, the divine energy gave them awareness, let them see the truth, let them choose to break free. One by one, ninja began waking. First the Kages, their powerful chakra aided by Naruto's energy. Then the Jonin. Then more and more, until the allied forces stood again, freed from Kaguya's control. "Impossible," Kaguya screamed. "The infinite Tsukuyomi is absolute. No one can break it." "They didn't break it," Naruto replied, his merged form shining like a star. "You offered them dreams, I offered them choice, and they chose reality." The allied forces gathered around Naruto, their combined chakra adding to his. Not power transfer, but moral support. Thousands of ninjas standing with the silver-haired warrior who had saved them. Kaguya looked at this, at the unified humanity she'd once created chakra to control, and something in her ancient heart cracked. "Why?" she whispered. "Why do you fight so hard? Why resist the perfect world I offer?" Naruto stepped forward, his silver eyes gentle despite the power radiating from him. "Because perfect worlds where we have no choice aren't worth living in. Real life has pain, yes, suffering, loss, but it also has genuine joy, real growth, true connections. You wanted to steal that from everyone because you couldn't handle the chaos of free will. Free will leads to conflict, to war, to endless suffering. It also leads to peace, to love, to moments worth fighting for." Naruto extended his hand. "You were the first to wield chakra. You could have guided humanity toward cooperation. Instead, you tried to control them. It's not too late to choose differently." Kaguya stared at the offered hand, at the boy who had defeated her through strength and compassion, and for the first time in 1,000 years, she felt something other than emptiness. I don't know how to be anything other than what I am." "Then learn, starting now. Let us seal you peacefully, and maybe someday when you've had time to understand, we can try again." Kaguya's 3 eyes filled with tears, the first tears she'd cried since before her corruption. Slowly, she took Naruto's hand. "Very well, I surrender." The allied forces moved to create a seal, Kaja-level techniques combining to bind Kaguya without killing her. Naruto's divine energy reinforced the seal, ensuring it would hold but wouldn't cause pain. As the seal formed, Kaguya looked at Naruto one final time. "What are you truly? Your power isn't from this world." "I don't know," Naruto admitted, "but I know what I choose to be. Someone who protects, someone who believes people can change, someone who gives second chances." "Then perhaps..." Kaguya's form began fading into the seal. "Perhaps there is hope for this world after all." She disappeared, sealed not in the moon, but in a dimension created specifically for her. A place where she could exist without threatening anyone, where time moved differently, where maybe eventually she could heal. The battlefield fell silent. Then, slowly, cheering erupted. The allied forces celebrated their combined victory over a goddess, their survival against impossible odds. But Naruto felt no triumph, only exhaustion and relief. The war was over. The weeks that followed saw unprecedented changes across the ninja world. The villages, having fought together, found cooperation easier than expected. Trade agreements formed. Cultural exchanges began. The old grudges, the historical conflicts, all seemed petty compared to what they'd survived. Obito Uchiha, freed from his hatred, devoted his remaining years to rebuilding what he destroyed. He worked alongside the allied forces, using his abilities to help rather than harm. Seeking redemption he'd never fully achieved, but pursuing it anyway. Sasuke, having witnessed the war from prison, chose to serve his sentence and then dedicate himself to protecting Konoha. His reunion with Naruto was quiet, filled with unspoken understanding. The tailed beasts, no longer needed for war, chose their own paths. Some returned to human partners. Others lived free in remote areas. But all of them remained connected to Naruto, the one who had shown them that cooperation was possible. Hinata and Naruto's relationship deepened, built on mutual respect and genuine care. No grand gestures, just quiet moments together, understanding that transcended words. Tsunade stepped down as Hokage, recommending Kakashi for the position. The copy ninja accepted, leading Konoha into an era of peace and prosperity. But everyone knew who truly protected the village. Naruto Uzumaki, the silver-haired warrior with divine power, remained as he always had, humble, kind, and absolutely committed to protecting what mattered. 10 years passed. The ninja world had changed beyond recognition. The 5 great villages were allies, not rivals. Technology advanced as ninja techniques combined with civilian innovation. Peace held, not through fear, but through genuine cooperation. Naruto, now in his mid-20s, had grown into his full power. His silvery white hair reached his mid-back. His body was defined muscle, honed by a decade of training. And his silver eyes carried the wisdom of someone who had seen the worst of humanity and still chose hope. He stood on the Hokage monument, looking over Konoha. The village had expanded, rebuilt, flourished. Children played in streets that had once run with blood. Civilians lived without fear of invasion or war. Beautiful, isn't it? Hinata joined him, her own appearance matured by time. She wore the robes of a Jonin commander, having risen through the ranks through skill and dedication. It is, Naruto agreed. Sometimes I wonder if this is real, if peace can actually last. You made it real. Your choices, your strength, your compassion, all of it created this. We all created it. Every person who chose cooperation over conflict, every ninja who set aside grudges, every civilian who believed in something better. They stood together, and Hinata's hand found his. No words were needed, just connection, just presence. Below them, the village celebrated another year of peace. The Great Naruto Bridge had inspired similar projects worldwide, connecting nations that had once been isolated. The academy taught cooperation alongside combat, emphasizing that strength meant protecting, not destroying. And in the memorial stone, new names had been added, those who fell in the war against Kaguya. Naruto visited it often, paying respects to the sacrifice that had enabled this peace. Do you ever regret it? Hinata asked softly. Being this powerful? Carrying this burden? Naruto considered the question. Every day, power isolates you, makes you different. But he looked at Hinata, at the village below, at the world he'd helped save. But it also gives me the ability to protect what matters, to ensure this peace continues. So no, I don't regret it. I just try to use it wisely. You do. You always have. Night fell over Konoha, stars emerging in the clear sky. The moon hung bright and beautiful, no longer red, no longer threatening, just a satellite watching over a world at peace. Naruto's silver eyes tracked the stars, and he felt Kurama's presence in his mind, comfortable and familiar. Think they'll stay peaceful, kid? The Nine Tails asked. I don't know, but I'll be here if they need me. We'll be here. That's all anyone can do. Be ready, be strong, be kind. Sounds like a good philosophy. Together they watched over Konoha, the silver-haired warrior, and the ancient fox, partners who had changed the world simply by choosing compassion over cruelty, protection over destruction, hope over despair. 20 years more passed. Naruto, now in his 40s, had become a legend that transcended his own lifetime. The silver-haired sage, they called him. The divine protector. The warrior who had defeated a goddess and chose peace. He'd married Hinata, their union producing 2 children who inherited aspects of both bloodlines. One with the Byakugan and hints of divine chakra, another with silver hair and latent ultra instinct. He'd trained a generation of ninja, teaching them that strength meant responsibility, that power served others, that violence was always the last option. He traveled the world, mediating conflicts, preventing wars, showing that even the smallest disputes could be resolved through communication and understanding. The Allied shinobi forces had evolved into a permanent peacekeeping organization, with representatives from every village working together to maintain stability. And through it all, Naruto remained fundamentally unchanged. still kind, still humble, still absolutely committed to protecting people. He stood in his home, silver hair now touched with gray at the temples, his body still powerful but carrying the weight of years. Hinata, equally aged but still beautiful, sat beside him as they watched their children train in the yard. "They're going to surpass us," Hinata observed with pride. "They already have in some ways. They're growing up in peace without the trauma we carried. That's worth more than any technique." "You gave them that. Gave everyone that." Naruto shook his head. "We gave them that. All of us who chose to build instead of destroy." Their eldest child, a daughter, activated her Byakugan while their youngest, a son, unconsciously dodged his sister's gentle fist strikes, ultra instinct manifesting in small ways. "Think they'll need your power?" Hinata asked. "I hope not. But if they do, I'll teach them what I know. Not just the techniques, but the philosophy. Power without compassion is destruction. Strength without wisdom is danger. They need to understand that before they inherit anything." They watched their children, and Naruto felt content. Not perfect happiness, he'd seen too much for that, but genuine satisfaction. The world wasn't perfect. Conflicts still arose. Problems still needed solving, but the cycle of hatred had been broken. The endless wars had stopped. A generation had grown up knowing peace as normal rather than exception. That was worth everything he'd sacrificed. 50 years had passed since that evening on the Hokage monument when Naruto first contemplated his role in the world. Now in his 60s, Naruto's silver hair was fully gray, his body still strong but showing age's inevitable marks. He'd retired from active duty, though retired for him meant consulting, teaching, and occasionally intervening when threats emerged. Hinata had passed 2 years prior, her death peaceful, surrounded by family. Naruto mourned her loss deeply, but he honored her memory by continuing their work, protecting, teaching, building. He sat in the academy, teaching young students about the history they'd lived through. Children who had never known war, who thought peace was guaranteed, who needed to understand how fragile it all was. "Sensei," one student asked, raising a hand, "is it true you fought a goddess?" "I stopped a threat," Naruto replied, deflecting the glorification. "With help from thousands of others. No one person saves the world alone. But you're the strongest ninja ever, right? That's what everyone says." Naruto's silver eyes, still sharp despite age, regarded the eager students. "Strength isn't about power, it's about what you do with what you have. The strongest ninja I ever knew was a man who could barely use chakra, but he worked harder than anyone. The bravest warrior I met was a girl who fought despite being terrified. Strength comes in many forms." He taught them about cooperation, about understanding enemies, about choosing words before weapons. The lessons that had guided his life passed to a new generation. After class, he walked through Konoha, a village transformed beyond recognition. Flying vehicles coexisted with ninja techniques. Technology merged with chakra in ways previous generations couldn't imagine. The population had tripled, the village expanding into a true city, but the memorial stone remained, carefully preserved, a reminder of cost. Naruto stood before it, reading names he'd memorized decades ago. Friends lost, allies fallen, enemies redeemed, all of them part of the tapestry that had created this piece. "Still visiting us, Kit?" Kurama's voice, weaker now but still present, rumbled through their connection. The fox was dying, not from injury, but from age. Even-tailed beasts weren't truly immortal. "Always. You know that. We had a good run, changed the world, made it better. We did. Thank you for being my partner. Thank you for giving me a reason to believe in humans again." They sat in comfortable silence, two beings who had shared a lifetime, not who would share an ending when the time came. Naruto Uzumaki died at 73, peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by children, grandchildren, and friends. The entire ninja world mourned. Kages from all 5 villages attended his funeral. Civilians lined the streets, paying respects to the man who had protected them. Former enemies stood alongside allies, united in grief for someone who had shown them all a better way. They buried him beside Hinata. Their memorial marked simply, protectors, partners, parents. They chose compassion. But Naruto's legacy didn't end with his death. The philosophies he taught became standard academy curriculum. The peace he fought for held for generations. The connections he forged between villages strengthened with time. Children grew up hearing stories of the silver-haired sage who could dodge anything, who had defeated a goddess, who had chosen kindness over cruelty. The stories became legends. The legends became myths. But those who had known him, who had fought beside him, who had learned from him, they remembered the truth. He wasn't a god. He wasn't invincible. He was just someone who had been given incredible power and chose to use it wisely. Someone who believed people could change. Someone who protected others before himself. Someone who showed that strength meant responsibility, that power served others, that even the smallest act of kindness could change the world. 100 years after Naruto's death, the ninja world had evolved beyond recognition. The 5 great villages had merged into a unified global council. Ninja techniques had become commonplace, taught to everyone rather than kept secret. Technology powered by chakra had created unprecedented prosperity, and peace held. Not perfect peace. Conflict still arose, problems still needed solving. But the endless cycle of hatred, the generational wars, the mutual destruction that had defined previous eras, all broken. The academy in Konoha, now a massive institution training thousands, had a statue at its entrance. Silver-haired and kind-eyed, one hand extended in welcome. The figure embodied everything the institution represented. Carved at the base were words attributed to Naruto Uzumaki. Power without compassion is destruction. Strength without wisdom is danger. But the smallest act of kindness repeated enough times can change the world. Choose compassion, always. Students passed this statue every day, many not fully understanding the weight of those words. But some did. Some felt the echo of divine energy still present in the stone. Some recognized that the silver-haired sage's legacy wasn't his power. It was his choice, the choice to protect, the choice to believe, the choice to hope. And in a dimension beyond mortal comprehension, in a space where sealed beings existed outside normal time, Kaguya Otsutsuki opened her 3 eyes. 1,000 years of imprisonment, 100 years since her defeat. Endless time to contemplate, to understand, to change. The seal around her flickered, weakening as designed. Naruto's final gift, allowing her eventual freedom if she genuinely reformed. She could break free now, could return to the world, reclaim her power, restart her plan for absolute control, or she could choose differently. Kaguya thought of the silver-haired boy who had defeated her with strength and compassion, who had offered her a second chance even after everything she'd done, who had believed that even gods could change. Slowly, deliberately, she reinforced the seal from within, not because she was forced, but because she chose to. Perhaps, she whispered to the empty dimension, there is hope after all. The seal held, not as a prison, but as a choice, and in that choice, Kaguya Otsutsuki finally understood what Naruto Uzumaki had tried to teach her. That free will, even when it led to mistakes, was worth more than perfect control. That suffering, when balanced with joy, created genuine meaning. That being human, or choosing to be human, was the greatest power of all. And so the legend ended, not with a battle or a final technique, but with a choice. The choice that had defined Naruto Uzumaki's entire life. The choice to protect what mattered. The choice to believe in others. The choice to hope for better. That choice, repeated across generations, had changed the world more thoroughly than any jutsu or technique ever could. The silver-haired sage who was born with divine power, but chose to remain fundamentally, beautifully human. The warrior who could dodge anything, but chose to stand firm for those who couldn't. The protector who showed that true strength wasn't about being untouchable. It was about choosing who and what to touch, to protect, to save Naruto Uzumaki. The boy who became a legend, the legend who chose to remain a person. The person who changed everything simply by being kind. His story had ended, but his legacy, the peace he fought for, the philosophies he taught, the compassion he embodied, would echo through eternity. Because some powers transcend death, some choices outlast lifetimes, and some legacies never truly end. They simply become part of the world itself, woven into the fabric of reality, inspiring generations yet unborn to choose compassion over cruelty, protection over destruction, hope over despair. That was Naruto Uzumaki's true power. Not ultra instinct, not divine energy, not unstoppable strength, but the simple, profound choice to be kind in a world that often demanded cruelty. And that choice, more than any technique or ability, was what made him truly invincible. The end.
The balance of power is shattered, and destiny itself is rewritten by his every instinctual move. What moments would define this new legend? Subscribe and join the conversation for more explorations into what could have been. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next epic What If.